Hey guys, welcome to the close. A couple hours left in a pretty exciting Monday afternoon. Brand new month, brand new week. Same old story, unfortunately. Here we go, back to the downside once again, in the red in a big way, extending these declines that we saw from Friday's session. Unlike Friday, however, it is the S&P leading the way here, 1.2%, 1% for the Dow. The NASDAQ just 0.6%. We did see right out of the gate this morning, tech stocks showing decent amount of strength, but we're trying to roll over once again, back in negative territory. The TSX 0.8 in negative territory here in Toronto, Brazil to the downside as well. Yeah, crude oil holding up here about 1%, 0.6, 0.5% for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pretty red board, unfortunately. Once again, all the strength we were seeing earlier on today, pretty much gone. It was mostly coming from tech stocks and also consumer staples and consumer discretionary. You can see still a few names in here that are green, but otherwise back to the downside for pretty much all of them. Real estate stocks, those little REITs getting hit once again today. Healthcare back in negative territory. Moderna standing out here positive on the day on some rulings on their vaccine for kids. Communication services as well. There's Facebook, 1.2. Netflix here, 2% as well. Back to the upside. So yeah, some tech showing some strength. Otherwise, though, it's been a pretty rough day once again to start off a brand new week. Hope your afternoon is going well. If you're joining us for the first time, as always, we will revisit, if you missed for whatever reason the pre-market this morning, we'll revisit a couple of ideas that we were talking about in the pre-market to get things going, walk you through the trades, walk you through the potential trades. We'll figure out where we can do better tomorrow to lead the way for us. Sean is back, if you missed that. We are all back in the building, which is nice because it's been a while. Sean's going to lead the way with a look at one of his trades.
Hey guys, yeah, great to be back, and what a fantastic day to be back, to be honest with you. The market continues its downside move, and to say we called it, I mean, this is what we were looking at all day. It's going to be Apple. We talked about that, and thank you for all the nice tweets as well. A few of you messaging me and saying that they're done after a couple of these reloads. And basically, what they're talking about right down here on the sticky note at Trader TV, Sean, we talked about it, 158 on Apple. We even said we're going to try the short multiple times here into 158. So we had that written down on the sticky note today, along with Hood as well, the two positions that we're currently short right now. So let's find out exactly why, and forget about the daily chart. Sure, the trade is now $3 or so bucks in the money. Actually, nice little move back up for Apple right now. But this was the key level right here, 158, right? And the reason why we use it is that's almost where we closed on Friday. So we had a crazy week, a crazy dump down into Friday, into the close right there. Big movement. Obviously, we had Apple earnings as well last week. And then if you go all the way back to the 27th, that's where Apple closed that day at 158. So we're just like, you know what, 158, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we put on our scalper's hat. Sometimes it's great to hold a little bit longer. But as you can see right here, let me go this way. As you can see right here, the NASDAQ today, since it wanted to open, we actually went up about 1% or so before fading right back down around 10 o'clock. The market's been pretty sick since 10 o'clock. So let's review what we did with Apple. I mean, it's about as simple as it can be. Here's the 158 line transferring over from our 20-minute right over here into the daily chart, and that's that 158. Okay, we're reloaded, like we like to say, multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times all in. And these outs might not look like, oh, he scalped them out. But honestly, like this is 156.50 right there. So that's, again, dollars in the money. This big move to the downside here. And look how much we took early on. This name, Apple, almost all the NASDAQ names that are high flyers, Facebook included, Nvidia, Netflix, they all bounce around like crazy off the open. So we were able to take a little bit of a short there, average in. When it came back down, look at that at 155. I mean, some of these wins earlier, $2 plus in the money. But we got to hold something, right, in case we have these kind of days. So our last in rate here, we get one piece out at VWAP, which is about, that's a 157.50. All these, now we're short 157.55. But this last reload, we're basically like, let's see how far this thing can go down. And I just tweeted out like 20 minutes ago, where's the bottom here? I don't know, but we marked it down where it is temporarily, 153.70. You can see Apple's bounced off about 70 cents from that move back to 145.50. We're still short. I don't know. I'm not sure where to get out. I mean, maybe if we break above back into here, get into this trading zone, I think we can hold Apple the rest of the day. Look, the point is right here, the sticky note, right? Sometimes we get that magic on there, and it's not about like, you know, finding the right names. You know, it's about doing some research, looking to see what's active for the day. Like I said, we have Robinhood, we have Neo. Neo was the other way. We went short initially, then reversed it into the strength. So what I'm trying to get at is have your names, have things on watch, but then try to utilize some further points here. Where do I want to get short? And then really, how much do I believe in this trade? This is going to be probably my biggest net-wise stock, you know, percentage-wise and net-wise, just pure dollars since April, like almost all of April, first day in May, we hit it so many times that when it moved down, we're able to catch a nice little profit. So it's Apple, it's short, it's getting close, man. I really like that 150 for longer terms, but if we're gonna day trade, we cannot ignore the NASDAQ as it's red one more time here. So it's your trade of the day and it's Apple.
Trying to bounce, which is good to see, led by some names like Apple, trying to get back to the upside, guys. We had a number of tech stocks on the watch list this morning. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the watch list. Absolutely free. All you need is an email address. We send it out in the pre-market before we come on at 8:30. Let's jump into a few things here because a few things making some moves, including some of the chip makers. AMD looking pretty nice here, 1.4%, guys. Nice bounce off pre-market levels, straight back to the upside. So yeah, some of the tech stocks trying to lead us back higher.
Bit of a bounce. I mean, the NASDAQ had been helped out by Microsoft, by the way. Just so keep a quick eye on Microsoft. That's going to be a big one to watch all afternoon. Welcome, everybody. I'm in AMD, and it just made a nice little bounce. I had it twice off 86.5 when it rolled over, and now it's testing this same level. I'll zoom in so you maybe see a little bit better. Yeah, if you look at the support from the morning, you had 86.5, you had 86.70. It then had a nice little consolidation rollover. That's what we shorted. I'll only get back into this if you sort of reclaim the sell side of the weakness in the trade. You can see it's been like 5 or 6 up candles. But the other story here that you're watching, if you're watching any of these tech stocks as they try to rally, you know, obviously, is the NASDAQ is back above the bottom. It tried to breach the low. The level of Rune mentioned this morning, that 40.95 in the ES, we're still below that, but it's the NASDAQ which is bouncing off the low of the day. If we don't reclaim the low, I don't feel the need to reload on a short trade. You can hang on to the shorts you got. But certainly that ES level breached, and wow, it started really screaming into the downside. So there are some shorts that you can hold on to. I do still have XPEG from the morning, but pretty much the only thing, it's weird, like somehow I never ended up getting stopped out of Pinduoduo, which is, it doesn't even make any sense to me because I said, I'm like, BABA's gonna hold all day long, that BABA short, and then PDD is gonna stop me out. Like that's the last thing I had mentioned when we were right down here, and then Pinduoduo was just sitting holding this 42.80, so I'm somehow still in that long. I would have assumed I would get stopped out, and this would be trading towards the lows. But this market, it's hanging on by a bit of a thread at this point, and if Softy puts a real sell on, I think we're pretty much done for the day, but it hasn't yet.
Yeah, let's not. I mean, you're only down 0.4. It just, I feel like it feels worse because of what we've been used to here the last couple weeks, but we just missed another reload on our Apple trade. We sat down and I literally just pushed off or enter, should have marketed it in. We tried to get short there at 57. It's now down to 20 again. There's no love in this market. I know you're trying to catch a little bit of a long there, and I normally I'm sitting here trying to catch longs with everybody, but today, unless you're trading oil all the way back to 105, which is nice. Oil did make a little bit of a bottom there around 100, 101, so we can check that out. But yeah, here's the NASDAQ, man, continuing to fade out. Just tried to bounce back. No love on that one. NASDAQ continues to move down, and we just tried. Someone said, what sorcery am I working with? Nothing. And it's just, I feel happy to give you guys the sticky note and just to look at some levels. And again, it's about share size, it's about conviction, and everyone trades your own book, but we're here to share some ideas with you, and I hope that they can work out. On that note, I know we're going to go run through some stocks. I was going to assume, Fahad, that Robinhood is on there at some point. Yep, I see Brandon with the yes, so I'm not going to talk about that, but right now I'm short Robinhood and I'm short Apple, looking to get more, guys.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get to Robinhood. Let's talk about Chinese EV stocks, because typical for every month, at the beginning of the month, we get delivery numbers. However, untypical for the past couple of months. Anyways, they weren't good, to say the least. And that had a lot to do with COVID lockdowns, lack of demand, and lack of production for all of these. So that being said, we did get some positive movement out of all of them today.
I mean, there was some positive movement at the open. You saw it screaming to the upside. But the problem with most of these names, and look, I mean, Tesla was pretty good. I guess I could have led with that. But XPeng's the one I'm in, so I'm going to get to that because it just turned red on the session not too long ago. And it tried to break out. You can see what 25 is on the 15-minute for XPeng. And they were the only one of the three, Li Auto, NIO, and XPeng, that had year-over-year growth, but they all had horrible declines, in terms of from quarter to quarter, which I guess should be expected with the lockdowns that are going on in China. But 25 was a big level. Every single time it tried to break in the last week and a half or so, it rejected these breakouts. You had a wick high to 15, you had a wick high to 50, you had this wick high to about 80s or so, and it was about that same thing that happened today. It put in the wick high through 25, and once it rejected that, it was just a short that we're still holding on to. And I might stop. I'll probably have to adjust that one to start trailing it. If it gets to 24, I'll take some more shares out. But if we get through 24 even, lots of room into the downside. And even Tesla. Like Tesla looked so strong at one point, this morning. It failed at 880 to 85, which is a level that we're talking about where there should be some resistance, at least first resistance. And then it tried to make the breakout through that level. And you can see I did try the long on the break. Took a little bit of profit there for $5, and then it stopped out, and it's been a short ever since. The good news is 860 currently holding on Tesla. That was the morning support for that short. Looks like it's trying to hold up here, but if the NASDAQ takes the low again, you can probably bet that Tesla's not going to be able to hold this bottom. So there's so many things that are at these key support levels as we speak. You're just looking for that next shoe to drop. I think Microsoft's been trying to hold up. That could be one. Of course, Apple's a big weight as well. It's all about what the big boys do. Apple, or Microsoft, Tesla, they're going to determine whether we can hold these bottoms on the overall market.
Yeah, there's a short seller report out right now on Veru. So I'm going to go short Veru right now, and then just see where we go here on this one. It's just dropped off from 10.50 down to 10. So I just went short late. I had to pay for shorts, so I wasn't looking at this before. But right now we are short Veru at 10.05 right now. I'm bidding mid-90s. See if we can get something out now. But I'm going to take this one short here, Veru, on a short seller report that Brendan will have with you guys in a minute. And it's Culper Research, C-U-L-P-E-R, Culper Research right now with the call out here for Veru on the short side. So I'll take the short. We'll get out if we break above. Like I'm just going to use 10.25 here as a level. So we'll watch that. We'll see the risk that we're going to take on this one. I think if we break 10, it's gone. It's holding 10 right now, so that's nice for anybody that's long. I know there's a lot of you long. I don't mean to be like shorting it against you guys, but this again is just a trade. So we'll see where Veru goes right now. Short 04s. We could have just took 4 pennies, but again, I'm thinking if we break 10, there's a little more downside here than we'd like to imagine. So let's see what happens with Veru here on a short seller report by Culper Research. And we did have NIO. I don't know if. Let me know if Brendan wants to jump in here. But we did have NIO today, and it was one of my more successful trades as well off the open when we went short. But then we got short, and then out. So, we realized that the short's going to be wrong. But then this is where all these reds getting out are me getting out as sell orders, right? So as we went long down there at 16.87, was able to get some of these out near the day's high again, messed around with it again with a good trade long here, 17 off VWAP. Then we tested these lows before eventually breaking, which we are at right now. So NIO, you talked about some EV makers. Yeah, not a great day here for NIO, although holding up nicely, only 0.6 versus the market that's ticking lower right now as we speak. I don't know, is this the day's low in the NASDAQ right now? Yeah, It is. So we're taking out day's low. Our Apple is just $4 in the money right now and continuing to tank down. So here goes Apple, a nice little trade. Still $4 on this one, but we're not getting this one up at all. Brendo?
Yeah, pretty ugly on VERU as well. I'll read you a quote from this. We find glaring anomalies in the company's phase 3 trial and think an EUA, which is emergency use authorization, is a non-starter. Go to culperresearch.com if you want that. I put it on Twitter. So go to Twitter, guys. It's out there anyways. VERU, not good. Breaking significant levels for that one. That was been pretty crazy mover over the past couple of weeks. Let's go to China Tech, specifically e-commerce, Alibaba, JD.com, Pinduoduo. They were all super strong on Friday. on that note that regulators are going to loosen their grip a little bit and loosen their looking into these companies right across the board in an effort to kind of help the economy in that country. So Baba, JD, PDD, Baidu, even all. I mean, we started the day to the downside, guys, but trying to hold some key levels here for these.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's getting spicy in here. This NASDAQ is,
yeah.
I like it.
That's the right way to think about it. Now, somehow, like I said, like somehow Pinduoduo was still positive. You'll see I still have the long off 43. It's this level here, Friday afternoon support, 42.80 or so. Like that gets taken out, and this is probably going to fall apart. But for now, it's looking relatively strong. Just have a quick look. Look at the gap here. If this takes 42.80 and then gets anywhere near this 42 and fails to hold that, I mean, anybody can see it's a tiny gap that could just get absolutely destroyed. And of course, Alibaba, which is the other name, I was short a couple of times here. Win, lose, win, lose. It'll zoom in so you can sort of see these even better. It was just sort of like a 50-50 shot on every single time we rolled in. I was just in one that got down to 98, and then that stopped at break even here. Baba could break down as well through 98. So many names that are at these key levels that it's just gigantic. But I'm just going to quickly skip to Redbox because I still have a little bit of this one left. Yeah, just a little bit of this one left off this $10 area here. Did take the break-even stop. It did go about like 30 or 40 cents in the money. And hang on to the small piece here just in case it is actually failing this last 10 break. But this is off a down halt. So it halted downside up here on RDBX. If it takes 10.50, no way I'm holding through that level. But it did have a down halt late in the session.
All right, so we're going to go money one more time. We just talked about Veru, man. And look, Arun and I, obviously completely different beasts. I don't have a problem paying for this. And here it is right here, 15 cents now in the money. Veru, downside. We got some out, like we said, man, 94s. Then we just took another piece out at 90 right there, 91s. But here comes Veru marching to the downside there. So we put on our pay for shorts, and then it goes to the downside. I think it was like less than 1 cent per share. So a no-brainer there as Veru continues to make the move to the downside. Apple continues to crank it. Can we talk about Hood yet? No, we cannot. So we'll wait for Robinhood, but that's another name that I'm sure. Here goes Veru. Let's go Veru right now. You roll the dice on this one, man, and there it is. Another move down to 85 now for Veru. So, hey, man, we're pretty happy with this trade. 21 cents, 22 cents, 23 cents in the money. So Veru downside right now. A good little trade for me here. And we'll just keep pumping the tires, man. Time to get out a little bit more. We're still in 60% of this move. Veru to the downside on a Culper Research report, Brendo.
All right, let's go on to chip stocks. We talked a little bit about initial strength in these getting faded, and here we go. Back to the downside for all of them. There was individual news worth noting on Qualcomm this morning, and also on Intel that was positive in both cases, but not so much at this point.
Intel, you say?
No, they're all down. They're all
no, Intel.
Well, actually, no. Wait a minute.
Intel's up.
Well, I mean, okay, off the highs. This is sort of one of those. I know we always talk about percentage from the day before, but like momentum also matters, right? So when I say they're all down, AMD's up 0.3%, but it is at the low of the day essentially. Like that's what I was sort of getting at. But it doesn't matter where you look. It's actually testing these bottoms here. But AMD's big level, I'll just quickly say, this never really broke in the morning, and this is that 85 level, about 84.80 or so. And below that price, you're then back into the week lows. But as weak as some of these names have been recently, a lot of them held support that's major. And there's a 181, a 181.50 on NVIDIA's gigantic, 43 on Intel. Those are some monster levels. If they get taken out, it could get really ugly really quick. And we have a decent chance if the NASDAQ holds these lows, we are going to see these tested. But 85 is pretty big. Looking to hold AMD through that 85.
Okay, we just took another piece out on Veru there, 86s. It went out. We got an 80 bid as well. So far so good on Veru. And then I just wanted to update here as Apple continues to make the moves down, man. Now it's still at that day low of 153.50. So Apple continues to make the move downside there. And then my Intel has been so fresh and so clean today. I just wish we were still in it. Some shorts off the open, boom, nicely traded there for me. 44s out, 43.50s, 50 cents or so. And then look at that one, man. man. I mean, I can't, honestly, I cannot do it better than this here for myself anyways, up to 44.50. And again, if you want to talk about sticky note, we talked about this earlier, and again, I don't know what's going on with some of these calls, but there it is right there, 44.50 on the sticky note right there for Intel. We talked about waiting for that price. We wrote it down. These are available to you guys every morning, 8 o'clock when I post them. So there it is. There's the 44.50. We waited for it. We got it. And it would only be $1 in the money right now. But we did pretty good getting out down here, 43.90. We're able to hold a lot of it to VWAP for 44. So Intel live on the show. You guys all saw that trade. We took this live right before we left you guys, 44.50, and then just cashed it in. One of the top, I mean, the number 2 stock of the day here for me is Apple, number 1, followed by this quick Intel move right there. So yeah, pretty happy here. What up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, we've got a super chat from Dominic Famularo. Thank you, Dominic. Neil, I still playing with that ZYME. Do you have any thoughts on ZYME, Neil?
Look too much. I know we talked about it and traded this one last week, but remember, this is like that 10.50 unsolicited offer that has no. It's not that it's not gonna get to the price, but unless the board engages with that offer, which they have not done to this point. The upside here is just trying to play off this momentum. Apparently, there was deal speculation with Zyme before, and it just never really went. It's holding the 50 period, which is a pretty solid sign for it, this 650 level. But overall, other than that, like it had that triple top, and that's the level that I said this morning. This is what we should be looking for if we can get through that 780. It didn't even come close. It just failed a 7 break, and if it doesn't hold this here, and this is, I guess, was before that last tank in the futures on Friday, this was holding 650, and that's what it's trying to hold now. If it can hold that and then maybe give you one last pump up and get through that 7, that's your bull case. The volume is just so poor here that I'm not really seeing it today. You usually want to see the volume hold up, but volume has been dying off since it made that triple top. So your better bet might be to wait to see $6 support, I suppose, with Zyme, but still waiting for the board, still waiting for some kind of an update in terms of what's the next step for that potential takeover.
Note on Tesla and Twitter, guys. Elon Musk apparently in talks with new financing. That's just coming through right now. So there was actually a pop-up here on Tesla, surprisingly enough. You can see volume coming in there, but hey, right on cue, because guess what? Tesla's next anyway, so here we go. I'll take a look into this a little bit, and you guys can talk about Tesla.
Sure, we can talk about Tesla, but right now, Veru right now, let's just spin it one more time as that continues its move to the downside. We just got filled there on Veru at 76 right there. So a nice little move to the downside. We were just sitting there ahead of 975, so we'll take another 25 cents on Veru right there to the downside. But I know Neil was trading Tesla, so maybe I'll just hand it over to you. I mean, I didn't look at it much.
I didn't quite catch all of that for the story. I was just kind of asking Brendan to make sure he can clarify. But either way, Tesla got back to what was the support level. I only shorted this level. Sorry, I only shorted the 880 level. And when we got out at that 860, which we know from last week was a decent support, I never thought we'd be sort of barcoding off of this. And maybe it was a little bit of a long, but without knowing exactly the details there for that story, I'm going to maybe sit away from this. But it was a good short, 880 to 885. We know it was good from last week and certainly worth watching. Tried the break from that level. You can see the breakout was no good. But this is major support at 860. And if we get through that, I think we're in a world of hurt. And it looks like, yeah, the snap news is going to bring us to 875, and it's already coming right back in. You know, so we're basically where we started off of this news if we don't actually hold 860. Brendan?
Yeah, just clarify quickly, guys. So new financing that would allow him to use less of his own capital and potentially less of his own shares, which hence the positive news on Tesla.
Okay, that's actually really good because the more capital he'd have to use, not just in terms of selling his own shares, but about the amount that he would have to put up as collateral, because that's a big time downward pressure on the stock right there as well. So it's obviously a pretty solid piece of news. I'm inclined to like, as long as the NASDAQ holds the lows, I'm inclined to like the long off of that 860 area now on Tesla. Do I want to chase it up here at 67, 68? Probably not. Given how weak this market has been. But yeah, that's actually pretty bullish. And I think if we can hold out that 860, that's a pretty good sign for Tesla. I didn't go long off this morning, which was a bit of a regret. If we can get a chance, that might work today. And that RDBX, I finally go long on it. And looks like it's coming right back into $10 here. So if it cannot, I was just short this at 11.
People were saying, yeah, why don't, yeah, exactly.
I know, it's the first time. Well, actually, no, I had one other long this morning. And of course, it doesn't sustain the break. It's holding 10 for now. But, you know, if it gets to 1150, that stock is pretty much gonzo. Tesla is coming down to that 860 level. Man, it just cannot seem to hold up. The NASDAQ's at the lows. We'll try the long off 860. But like any other long in this market off the bottom, you got to have a stop. We cannot be making a fresh low and holding through. And, of course, there's red box through the 8 through the 10. So we good out of that one. Of course, it fails after I try the long, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Dominic.
Yeah, Dom's law, not Murphy's law on that one. There as we go. Okay, so I just wanted to, I mean, obviously I'm short Apple here, and it's my shorts are nowhere to be found up here because they're way up here, 157. But I'm trying to reload this thing. It's just, it's not coming back up. Like, I want to try to respect this 50 period. We bounced off there, and that's why I zoomed in a little bit for you here. We bounced off the 50 period right there. We basically took it out there and didn't look back, and then bounced. I mean, I consider this a bounce. That's a 40. We only got as high as 70, so we bounced a little bit off the 50 period again. So we're going to test it again if we can in the 20s here and go short Apple. I just want to give that to you in case, you know, you all of a sudden see me in more shares. Well, you don't see my shares, but my price change there on Apple, because right now it's $4 in the money off of that last short. So, and then, yeah, like I mean, Dominic, shout out to Dominic as well, because he was talking there to me, or to all of us, about Veru. And what I said there was just like, I know that there's a lot of traders long this name, but you come out with the short seller report. They've already gotten hit down here today. They're already down that 17%, and I shorted it just north of 10. So right now, like, I haven't had too much luck on the longs for Veru, as a lot of you guys know. So I'm pretty happy to take this short. And then if we're going to zoom out and have a quick look at Veru, where is my 20-minute chart here? Because that's probably the better one for this. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we're nowhere. Now that I say it doesn't, okay, I was going to say it doesn't want to load, but it looks like it's loading slowly. We've already taken this out at 1050. So really, Veru to the downside, we'll probably have to start looking at daily charts now, as it's had its run up to 16, 17. And here we go. All right, so actually there is something here. Going all the way back to April, mid-April, we did have a lot of consolidation on Veru, right around this 960-ish. So, I mean, something around there could be something to look at.
Well,
so
right here.
We're already 40 cents in the money on this name, and we're basically at these levels. So I think I should probably take one more piece out here on Veru. We're only into 30% of this name, so if it continues to go down, that's fine. But Veru right now, ooh, I have the imbalances back here. What's up, imbalances? We'll look at those when it comes time. But for right now, Veru into a little bit of an area. So let's take one more piece out and hold 20% and see if we test that 950.
All right, just reading this article, guys, that just came out, or note anyways, on Twitter, and in this Elon Musk story. So apparently he's had conversations with multiple Twitter investors, including Jack Dorsey. And I bring this up simply because I forget who it was, but I was reading a conspiracy theory last week, or a theory, I guess, on this Twitter deal that suggested this was a way to get Jack Dorsey back in charge, or in control of Twitter. And if he was having a conversation with Elon about financing, maybe some way there's a web that needs to be weaved there, guys, to get at Jack back at the head of Twitter.
Really? I mean, honestly, like, Twitter's been basically a waste, a dumpster fire for 12 years, or whenever they IPO'd. I was just looking, we have my old layout back on there, and one of the screens going by is Twitter, and it showed the price $51.
I don't see Twitter.
It's on there, trust me, when it swings by. It was also showing the price Apple 200 before it went to 700. It was actually showing the price Tesla 255 before it went to 2,000. So, I mean, it's been a dead stock for quite a while. I don't know if @Jack does anything for the stock. I would rather him not have anything to do with Twitter, to be honest with you, and let Elon run the show. But I don't know. For me, I don't really want to look at Twitter until we break above the day high here of 50, whatever. It's going to be 49.75, but all this headline risk right now doesn't really make too much sense. You know, as a shareholder, I do own some Twitter shares, but it's like $27 or $31, something like that. I'm going to hold it just to see what happens here. I don't think we're in an area where you want to buy more Twitter right now. If the deal falls apart, you're going to see sub 40. If the deal gets done, you're going to see 54.20. And I know Neil and Arun talked about this last week. So, yeah, for me, it's not super interesting until we start breaking some highs or lows, or we look at it off the open. So tomorrow we'll look at Twitter off the open, especially if there are rumors flying around about Jack Dorsey, and then obviously Elon Musk looking for more funding as well. So yeah, for me, it's going to be nothing. But if we get near $50, man, yell at me in the chat, because I'll definitely like to look at that through 50. You know what's still positive today? You mentioned Intel. We still have a few things to go, so we will, and Tesla too, but we will talk about Robinhood coming up. I just want to bring to everyone's attention here, Microsoft still up it was just 0.2 or 0.3, but Microsoft still up 0.21. Yeah, and holding up good. Although earlier on today it was a laggard, now it's a leader, it seems like, trying to hold up here, 277.50. That's probably long if we get near there.
Yeah, look, if that shoe drops on Microsoft, we've been battling the NASDAQ slow right now the whole time. Like that Jack thing, it's like, that's a story that can possibly be a positive. If somehow he gets some help from Jack, that's only going to be about Tesla for me. Because like at this point, like what's your upside in Tesla? The deal gets done, right? So, that's relatively limited if you like that. I mean, if you're betting on a deal, that's more lucrative to bet on the ATVI deal. Not that I necessarily would. I just find that these headlines are more important to Tesla, and that'll be more exciting to follow it from that particular standpoint. Like if we get some details here, and if something gets firmed up, then I think that's going to be a strong thing for Tesla more than anything. The Twitter thing. I mean, I usually trade buyouts, and I don't even want to look at that.
Didn't Jack Dorsey want to focus on blockchain and crypto and block in general
allegedly
as well? So. Who knows? Let's go on to Robinhood and Robinhood's comeuppance. According to Charlie Munger, Charlie Munger was he wasn't happy, I guess, during the Berkshire weekend meeting. He was talking very negatively on a lot of things. Robinhood was one of those guys, but here we go, up 4% for Hood today.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I've wanted to talk about this for a bit. I mean, and this is just going to go back to, again, our sticky note. We talked about 1050 levels that we liked. And again, we shorted it early here, was able to take some nice profits as we went down early out to 955 off some of those flushes that we witnessed. I'm getting close to getting more Apple right now, by the way, short guys. So maybe we'll look at that in a second if it pops in. It's going to pop in a minute, I think, as we're approaching that 154.20. All right, so hit it short, then realize, remember I was saying the market was going down, but Hood wasn't really. I just saw strength back upside. And then on the sticky note, we wrote down 1050. Why? Because if you go back here, this is 1050 right in here. So we did like some of these levels as we just got short Apple again. Right into here, 1050. So we waited. We struck with vengeance when it came up to 1050. And I gave this trade to everybody, again, on Trader Prad's show. Come on, Apple, give me that quick little fill down there on the downside. We gave this fill to everybody. People want to know what I was trading. I brought it to you, 1040. So this trade right here, we went short 1035 against 1040, literally giving this one 5 cents. And you've seen where we cashed it out. VWAP 1007. We just got, again, 1011. So you're talking about 6 to 1 risk to reward here on Robinhood. We'll keep shorting it, but we are out of the majority of this trade. So we're just going to watch it now, see if it fades back up. If it comes to 1040, I like it. I like it a lot. Mr. Munger, 98 years old, but he might be right about Robinhood here. As we've talked about this, man, the average account size was like $300 or $400 on one of their earnings reports. And this was like, I think 2 reports ago. I wasn't here. I don't know what they reported their last one, but yeah, they're not going to be able to compete with the Morgan Stanleys.
It's still going the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not going to be able to compete, guys. I mean, I know that they have that commission-free trading and things like that, but so do other apps. And I just feel like Robinhood, their name's just gotten basically squashed too many times here in the press.
But that's all they got left.
Yeah, so I don't know. Whether or not they're a buyout candidate or not, I mean, we talked about.
But at some point, it gets so cheap that based on the name and whatever clients they have at that point, of course it would at some point be. They still would have those clients, and of course the demographic would be appealing as well. So and on the platform, so there's a point at which, for sure, if it gets there, I don't know what that price is, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna have the same approach. I'm not trying to scalp Robinhood, and I didn't try to scalp it on Friday. I just feel like it's a couple of days now where it's just basically been trying to squeeze. Neither one's gotten through 11, so anytime there's a structure short, today I had 25 as the level I liked because that's where it tried to get through on Thursday. But either way, like every single day, I'm going to come in looking for that last little press down, and it tried to take it today and make that big gap fill, and I ended up having a 10 short into that 25 level, but it had to get to $9. Like I don't think I want to have anything out until we're testing some of those lows. It feels like it's the squeeze that it's putting on every day seems to be a little bit weaker. So that's 2 days in a row, but it was a much stronger squeeze on Friday. Let's see what happens for the rest of the session. For now, it looks like it's trying to hold up, but overall, I think Robinhood's in a world of trouble. I think it's just a short interest that has it holding today.
I got to hold it in, but bang! Everybody likes bangs, and if you haven't tried it, try an afternoon bang, because right there, a nice little move to the downside. There's Apple. Okay, we are. And there it is right there for Trader Prad, for everybody. Here's a 50-cent winner right there in 2 minutes on Apple. We just took that 154.20. We talked about that on the show. Actually, it's 154.14. We talked about that. We take it down, and there it is right there. A nice little one in for that trade. Apple reloaded downside. The money just keeps on coming in on that one, so we'll give a big shout out. This has nothing to do with the Rune, but I hope the Rune's doing well. There's the Pew right there, followed by a bang, dropping some grenades on Apple, man, as this just keeps on going. The money is coming down in on these shorts, man. So there it is, Apple to the downside right now, cashing in on this move, Brendo.
All right, another one just popping up here, guys. One we were talking about on Friday, VAX. Let's go on to frustrating stocks here. It was a wild open, to say the least, a lot of volatility. But this is one that popped up on Friday that we were looking at that was crazy as well. VAXX halted a number of times on the way up, trying to get going here again after that happened this morning. Back towards 7. So there's VAX. There's frustrating stocks from this morning.
So VAX we looked at last week. I just want to quickly say I just got into Fergie. If you remember this one from last week, well, okay, maybe you remember this one from last week. It did make the breakout of this 20 level, and it now put in a double top at 27. So this is, I mean, if you can guess here, you got to be willing to make top wick. If it breaks 27, I'm out. And then we're playing for the retracement, 25, 24, 22 to the downside here. So it had to make that last failed break of the high of the day. That got me into it. But remember, if you're not willing to make the top wick here, I think it'd be crazy not to have a stop, I think, above that high of the day. So Fergie just got into it right now. There's no, like, for me, the easy one for the frustrating trade of the day is Alibaba. Like that's the one where it's just so incredibly frustrating, because if I look at where I got out, we took the short off of 97, able to take it down to 95, and then when it slammed back up, did not make that reversal. And it's like that should have been a reversal. It was a huge failure on the breakdown here, holds the low of the day, and I did not reverse that stock. Obviously should have done it. And then I got into the short this afternoon and then had too tight of a stop on it, although we haven't broken the range one way or another. If you go back to what worked on Friday, of course the trades decided to not show up here, all we were doing was shorting 102. And the 102 worked like an absolute charm. We were holding it all day long. And then today, it's like when it breaks out of that high, wait around for 102, which we never get, and then I sort of force it down at 99. So I'm going back to the well. It needs to get back under this 98 level, so we're shorting these 97s, or it needs to go up to 102. Those are the two levels. 102 is the level we liked on Friday. 107, 97 was the bottom. Worth it to short 97. Anything else but the 102s, I'm not touching on Alibaba.
I mean, I'm green on every stock today. I've traded every single name off these levels here on the sticky note. So I'm actually proud to say that there's no stock that's frustrated me today. I mean, I always feel like you never take enough shares and you don't hold long enough. So I was going to say maybe not holding Apple for the big move that I did hold it on. And then maybe I was just looking right now and I just tried to get long into NEO again right now off of this 50 period and missed it. So if there's going to be anything that's frustrating, I guess it would be NIO, but Apple, Facebook, Robinhood, Intel, Veru, I mean, everything today for me is just a smoke show. So, we're doing quite well. I'm pretty happy with today's trade. So, unfortunately, well, I guess it's pretty fortunate that I don't have anything that's too frustrating, but it's because everything I've looked at really has worked. I mean, if there's going to be one name that I think we could have done better on, that was instead of waiting for 199.50 like we have written on here on the sticky note today, or 199.50, was maybe just to punch into Facebook once we saw NASDAQ strength. But again, you know, I was really happy how patient we were waiting for that reload right there. And I guess frustrated because we didn't get out at the top. But again, man, this is a 206 long. It went up to 211, so we should have taken that $5. But, you know, the purpose of this was to sort of talk about maybe missed opportunities and stocks that frustrated us. So for me, actually, today, Brendo, I don't have one. So I'll ask to see. Maybe Brendan, I know he's busy doing other stuff, but maybe he has a frustrating stock.
Frustrating stock. I mean, RDBX, if you were doing anything but closing your eyes and hitting the go long button, was definitely a little bit frustrating. Back to 10.5 again. So 10.5, definitely an area to look at tomorrow for RDBX. But anyways, I want to mention Ford here. Ford grinding back lower, back to session lows anyways, 1.8%. This was out today. This is a very, very positive and rosy note anyways from Electrek on some of the capabilities and details regarding the F-150 Lightning, guys. So no real significant move on that, but heads up on Ford on that.
Ford is down on news like that? Okay, we'll have to look at that.
I mean, but it was down I think it was already down.
Yeah, well, 1.8%. Yeah, I mean, I think Ford is a buy down here, so I think I'll go shopping after we are done. We just took the 1683 long here on NEO. It did go right away up to 88 there for us. We didn't take any profit on that. So if it does make another move back up to 87, 88, we will look to get out of some of this. And I don't want to hold this too far against me here because, again, the market is teetering. We are short Apple. Which is still 50 cents in the money. We're short Robinhood and we're short Veru. So I don't really need to worry about this. I'm just honestly, man, if we break this 50 period, we'll give it a little bit of work. But 78, 79s, we're going to get out of here on NEO. So maybe this is going to be my frustrating stock if it doesn't go back up. But let's see. Like I said, we got in right there and it didn't go to 88, went to 87 there. So if we can get some 87s, we'll take it out here on NIO. I like this one for a long. The market is up. NEO is up into a down market. So that's really the logic there. Plus, we know they missed on deliveries. And look at the move that it had here early for us. So we do know that there are some kind of buyers anyways for NEO. I just hope they're at these levels. So a break back down below. I mean, we don't have a whole hell of a lot of shares. Maybe we'll average in around 78, but if we take down 75, then we'll get out. So let's go on average at the 50 period, 78, and then it won't be for very many shares. And if we break 75, then we'll get out of there, and then I can truly have a frustrating stock. Neil, if you're short anything, the market is right now starting to go down as there goes Apple, man. We just reloaded it, so let's go.
I'll do it again. I got to do this one because I'll do it twice, and I'm doing it for you, Paul. Because you got a good one here. What is the difference between a FOMO trader and pizza? The pizza can feed a family of 4. It's okay, but I love that you said extra pineapple today. I get it, man. I actually have the pineapple mug, the pineapple pizza mug, which I'll always have fun with it, even though it's not actual pizza here. Fergie just started to come to the downside. We talked about 25. We just got the first out at 25, so we'll ring register on the first dollar. Then we'll try to take $2 at 24. We'll hold on to a piece for 22. But every single time, like you know how it works, wherever support might be on one of these, I'm always going to make sure we're taking profit down there because it's a bullish chart. It's up 32%, and it is a bullish breakout that it put on. You saw it break out on 20 early on in the higher time frames. So we want to make sure that we are taking that profit and running. AMD just rolled over again. XPeng's still working to the downside. Just hold on to your shorts because I hate to do it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Remember that low on the NASDAQ that was holding? Yeah, it's gone, man. It's gone. The NASDAQ has broken the low, so hold on to your shorts. That's all you got. Although Pinduoduo still hasn't stopped me out. So.
I mean...
Do you have a long any?
Do I have a long NEO? Yeah, long. Yeah. We'll see. But right now, guys... Bang!
Well, it was the bear this morning, and then you...
Hit some lights, though.
Well, yeah, Mark put that in last week. It wasn't there when you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say I just chucked that thing backside. 90 cents now in the money for Apple. So turn that frown upside down now as Apple just tanked. Apple actually went a little lower than that, man. Look at this reload on Apple. Like, are we playing this thing like a fiddle today or what? Welcome to the wild side here. I'm Sean. Move to the downside, bang right there. You guys want trading in the afternoon show? Here we go. Neil and I putting on positions. 150. Like we just took that right with you guys here. Now $1 now in the money on this name, still going. Not only that, we also reloaded on NIO right now. And although the market trying to make some lows here, I'm just going to get something out on NIO if I'm able to here, as we just got that reload at 78. Like, and again, like just piece after piece talking about the trades that I'm looking to make. And there's another one on. Yes, up to 86s, 87s, 88. Mamma mia right now as we continue to go. What's up, Bradley, my man? As there goes NIO to the upside. So frustration stocks, NEPA for that one as we go chicken dinner winner right now for NIO with a big one. Wow, NIO, you're up to 90? Okay. We just talked about this trade down there. We just got long 78 on NIO. We'll take some out at 90, baby. We're rocking and rolling right now. More time off I need. Come back refreshed and look what happens. No negative stocks today. Over 200 fills. Just rocking and rolling here, man. Big day. Bye-bye, NIO. Up to 91. Up to 92. Man, your boy's getting electric one more time. Here we go. NIO to the upside. Wow, what a great, fantastic day here. I hope some of you, there it is. We just got 93s, 94s, 95s for NIO here. Yeah, we like it. We like it a lot right now. NIO. Frustration, my backside.
Yeah, somehow, once again, the longs are coming back. The NASDAQ just reclaimed that bottom. We are once again trying to make a bit of a low. For XPeng here, you see it here. Like, ultimately, this is still weak as long as it's below 25. So, no need to jump out of the chair. We're about 30 or 40 cents off the bottom. But ultimately, it's still about 70 in the money here. Tesla is the bigger story, I would say, as this just bounced again off of it. Didn't quite get to that 860 bottom, or it got pretty close to it, but it keeps on trying to bounce over and over again. And then the other story, if we're talking about the names that are holding this market up, Microsoft is just teetering off that 277.50 and once again bouncing. So we've given you like the case for how this market is going to manage to hold up today. Tesla 860 level and Microsoft 277. Those are two of the big ones. If they start to roll through, remember, it's only the NASDAQ holding it up. These start to roll through and the NASDAQ takes the lows, you do run into some trouble. And I'm going to bid this every single day. You'll see I have a bid on Microsoft. I will have this bid in probably all week, with the exception of when the Fed makes their decision, because I don't want to be sitting on the bid when that happens. But that 270 level on Microsoft, my 15-minute not pulling back, I apologize, but this 270 level is huge on Microsoft. And my daily is going to show you here. It is not it's multi-month support down at 270. It's been below that price just one time. I'm going to bid it until we close below that price. It's worth a dip buy there. So you'll see that order there pretty much every day.
All right, yeah, guys, thanks for all the talk there on the chat. It means a lot to us, right? And we just want you guys to have a good time, enjoy it, man. We're part of entertain, educate, and something else. Entertain, educate, something.
It's
else.
actually inform.
Inform, that's what it was. Yeah, Brendan, informing people. So that's a good one there. Yeah, look, I mean, NIO's 15 cents in the money. And again, we always say this, man, like trade your own book. Shout out to Joey, man. I love you too, buddy. There, getting excited over 10, 15 cent moves. It's all in a day's work, buddy. So this is what you do here. I hope you guys are in some of these trades. Roblox actually bouncing off its low, man. 29.50 Roblox. Come on, NIO, just go. We can get through 17, man. Then we're really. I mean, now that I'm not out. I'm out of, I would say, close to about 2/3 of this NIO trade. Good math there as we approach VWAP. So we are starting to get some out here. If we can get up to 17.20, then we will like that. And just an update on Apple. So, this is 20, 40, 60, 80, right? And again, this is the difference in trading style. Like, I've already got some out here, Apple, 150, 350. So that's 40 cents better than where it is now, right? This is why I scalp. Like, you take the winners when they're there and try to hold on to a piece for the bigger moves, right? At the end of the day, a net is a net, and this is what we're looking for. Come on, NIO. I actually want the market to rip now. Apple, whatever. If I get out of this one, I get out of this one. I don't think I'll be averaging into this. The market looks like temporarily, maybe, anyways. I know it's a bunch of maybes and temporaries there, but has the market maybe made a bottom there? We are now above the 50 period. I think I'm going to let the day kind of settle. I don't need to be in trade just because I'm on the show. So we'll wait to see here what does happen for the rest of the day, but we'll hold on to this Apple short. And then just to give you guys a little bit of an update on where I'd get out of this, I do have an order. I might as well end the stop order because I don't have as many shares anymore. Yeah, still 155.50 looks fine. If we take this out, I don't really want to mess with this up here, but I'm thinking 154, sorry, 154.50 to get out of our last 20%. But we are short at, I mean, I may just get out if we take that wick, man. Yeah, let's get out 154.25. We've already, I mean, Apple's been a monster trade for me today. Couldn't be happier with where I'm at. So we'll get out 154.25 on an Apple break, and then we'll just hold Veru to the short side, Neo to the long side, which is printing right now, and Robinhood to the downside.
Yillen asked here, like, what a take on Teladoc. You have a good reason to be looking at Teladoc. I'll tell you that right now. If you watch on the daily, here's the gap. Everyone understands what happened on those earnings, but triple top just now in front of 37. It did just reject. I didn't see it. Like, there's no catalyst for that last spike up. Like, it's going to show strength with the market when we get a rally in tech. But if we get through the top, and the market is bouncing off the low of the day, remember the squeeze potential that Teladoc has. So keep an eye on that 37 level. Probably, look, if that's your sort of thing, it's not a horrible short to be in. It's not that different from Fergie. However, FRGE that I'm in. But when I trade Teladoc from now on, I like the short much better if it gives a failed break through the high. Like, if it gets to 37 and then traps longs and then goes below, that's just a safer way to be in it. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. If it gets to 37 and cannot break out, I'd rather short it that way than anything else. Tesla made a nice bounce there. I'm going to put a trail on XPeng, and at some point, if Pinduoduo finally gets through this, look at it barcode. Like, I've been sitting in 43 since this morning, but every single time, like, you could reload these 43s, it hasn't been able to break 44. If this is finally the bottom, I still think we can get to 45 again on Pinduoduo. It's the one long because of the relative strength of some of the Chinese names. They're still up 1.4%. I think across the board, most of them are still up. I haven't really checked in on like a Billy or anything like that. But at this particular point, guys, you can see it's just range bound. And I had this conversation with Arun why it makes sense to ring the register. And he's like, yeah, but my principles are it never broke my stop and it never got to my target. And I said, but if it's not moving in the afternoon, it's kind of a distraction. He's like, yeah, you're kind of right. You can always get back in if it breaks out of a trade, or you can get back in when it retests that low. With only an hour to go, it does make sense to take that profit. And if we get a chance at 43, then we can just get back into the long at that 43 level. But I still believe in the chance if it holds 43. 45 should be that eventual price. You can just see it. It's a 50 to 60 cent range. Might as well just start taking the range.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same thing for me here on all of these trades, man. Like, I'm pretty exhausted right now. It's been a busy day here. I want to give a big shout out to Day Trade the World, our sponsor. If you're interested in that, we could throw over to Valeria to talk a little bit about Day Trade the World as well. I got to cancel some of these alerts because they keep popping up. They're ones that Rune had on some names here for me. But yeah, I like your Teladoc, $37 long.
Oh, yeah, Roku. We talked.
Yeah, maybe Roku there. Oh, I want to talk quickly about Roblox. And again, thanks for all the love and the hate on the chat. I love it. That's exactly what we're here for. And again, like, I just assume that people are like, oh, wow, Sean
Roku
is short. Like,
oh my God,
I assume that you're long. So my bad if you're trash talking that trade. But there goes Neo right back up to the upside. We are getting ready to get out of that Apple if it does go. But this is what I like about Roblox. We tested some of these bottoms right there. And I feel like if we can come back in, and again, I feel like the market maybe tests green. Like, I don't, we're not down that far, man. It's only 0.49 right now. So we'll see if it does test to the green side here today, the NASDAQ. But again, Roblox is like right at some of these breaking spots. Like, I like the long here. It's trying to get out. I don't know. I feel like it's too beat down there. I do own some Roblox shares. We've talked about that. We got some pre-earnings there a couple of months ago, which was really good. And then the last time it's been just killed. I wonder what they're going to say this next time around. But here it is right there on the 1 minute, $32. I was just looking at some higher time frames here for Roblox. So on the 20 minute, maybe we can zoom in a little bit more. That's 32 is right there. So you can see there's some 32 action there. It's almost like we got to get above 32.50 before we really get going. So Roblox definitely on alert right now, taking out some of those day highs. And there's Apple, man, to conclude the trade. We down on Apple, so yeah, buddy. We'll go, two animations there. Wait for the bus, I guess, and get flushed down. Either way, man, Apple, we did not miss that trade whatsoever. A great out for me there. I don't know if it's going to be great or not, but there's the out on that in. We took care of 80% of that, and that's why I scalp. You know, I mean, take the profit when it's there, see what you could do with the rest, and that's the point. Get out of Apple and just watch NIO take down 17 to the upside right now. So we still got some shares on here for NIO. Let's see if we can get a 1708 or 09 print here and really start mooning our net.
So someone asked again about a shtuka of Teladoc short off 37. Look, I get the level. It's a big level, and it makes sense. I prefer it to fail break that price. Break 37, not really get through 50, and then reject 37 altogether, short it on the way back down. But you mentioned Roku, and I was like, oh, that's right. We were looking at Roku, and I didn't have the alert set up for it. But this is one that we talked about last week while you were gone. 102, monster level pulse earnings. It rejected that price. You can see multi-day highs. So that's another one, like Microsoft 270. That 102 stop is going to be there all week until we take it out. Can you short off of a level like that? Sure you can. But 102, the room is to 112 where the players dwell if it's to break that level. So you know that should be on your radar, Roku. Brendan?
One from this morning, guys. BTTX just popping back up here on a volume spike back to pre-market highs. So trying to test day highs. Well, RDBX is falling on its face, guys.
Of course it is.
Maybe we should show our nets. Like this Sama guy, obviously I'm just playing around with you. We'll just keep blocking him, but like I'm underwater. I literally don't have a red name today. So if I'm underwater, then maybe it's a good thing right there. NIO, again, it tested 17. We didn't touch that yet, so we'll wait for 17 there. Well, actually, it did touch it. Went as high as 1704. We're waiting at 1705, so maybe there's an opportunity to get out of that one. And then, oh man, our Apple, we got out of it. It looks like that was a mistake, although it does go as high as 44 there. So if we would have used 50 as our spot, maybe that was something. Maybe we just need to go short more names because the NASDAQ looks like it did fail there. So of course I call up, right into that level. Yeah, why not? That was a good little level there for the NQ. Yep. So maybe we'll just go back to the well here and look for names that before we weren't here 2 weeks ago, we missed last week, but AMD was like a consistent short. I was telling Neil, I did 3 trades of the day or so in a row, maybe 3 out of 4 that were all AMD shorts. But right now, man, you're up that 1.61%. I think we could stay away from that. If I'm going to short anything, it would be Intel, which we've already really hammered that today. Purples are shorts. So again, maybe this is a name that I'm red on. I don't know how that could possibly be, but there's 44.50 right there. Let's see about this 44.10 maybe coming through on Intel if we can get that. But yeah, I think looking long right now is going to be a mistake. So let's just start to cover some of our NIO as that's come back down a little bit. Good thing we got out. Majority of these trades above like 97, 98-ish. Let's take some more out right now. We're long 78, so we'll take 15 cents on this one before we just continue to march down. It looks like we will take out the NASDAQ here, 12,775 back down. Maybe we don't get green on this.
Well, maybe we don't. I just reloaded on XPeng. That's the one that we'll still be into because it did just fail at VWAP there. And again, allow it to fail first. I'll try the same thing with Teladoc, but Fergie over here. And I always tell you guys, it's like, be willing to make top wick. Sure, take profit at 25. Make sure you do that because it's a bullish pattern. And maybe it's going to put in a wick top. But if it puts in a wick top at 27, doesn't get through 50 and rejects, well, then I can just jump back in the trade. You don't have to hold it all the way through. You just get right back in. Now, that's sort of always going to be par for the course. Dom, watch the Fergie. It already went, my stop's at the high of the day. right? Like, it's always going to be there. So I'm already out of it. I am willing to get back in. If this is just a top wick, I will jump right back into the trade, but I want to see it fail first. The same way I wanted to see Teladoc fail first. Now, it didn't break 37, but that's still a rejection of the level. So if it wants to consolidate here, it'll give me, maybe it'll give me the shot to short 36.5 to 36.75. And you know where the stop is going to be, at the high of the day. I did put in my order on, well, with the reversal in the market, we're probably not going to actually see Roku take out 102, but I did put my order in, just an off chance. The market bounces from here, 102 on Roku, like, you better believe that's a breakout waiting to happen. Could it reject? Sure, that's always possible, but that's a multi-day level break, so we'll always look at those.
Yeah, I just wish I would have trusted the read there on Apple, but I actually did trust it. I just thought the NASDAQ had a chance to go there. So right there, Apple out for flat, when right now it would be that 50 cents again back in the money. So we got out of our Apple there. If you guys did too, that is what that is. And that's going to happen when you're scalping like this. You know, you got to take the outs when they're there and then beat yourself up when it goes the other way. But again, like, yeah, the NASDAQ just keeps on pumping lower here. So I don't know, man. I think we got to find some shorts. I was almost going to flip back over to Facebook right here and think about going long off Facebook. But again, you know, I don't want to be long if this market isn't even going to be above the 50 period, which it's not right now. So let me zoom in a little bit more here. That's the 50 period right there. And we're just kind of hovering around it. Maybe there is going to be a trade here on Facebook. After all, I mean, I'd rather go long once we broke this 205, but maybe we're onto something against that 204 right now for Facebook. So there goes NEO right back to the upside. Here goes Apple a little bit as well. Let me get long at 50 right now. So long at 50. Oops, sorry, that's not Facebook. This is Facebook. We just took a little long off Facebook here. We do have 204 here. Sitting as a level. So I think if we break back down below 204, then we'll just respect our lines and get out. I'm not going to hold this all the way back to 202 and change. We know this name will go if it wants to right now. So let's see if Facebook wants to go. That's it. 204, where am I long here? 204.50. It's down against us 10 cents. We'll see where it goes. But right now, Facebook trying to get going. But again, a lot of that looks like it's going to have to depend on the market.
Yeah, and I see you guys in the chat there. That's Mike Crehan saying that we're going to close above 12.8 on the NASDAQ. Look, I got one short on left, and I kind of hope it's true. It'd be nice for the market overall. It's just the trend has been so weak. And remember, the ES is below that major support at 40.95. So even if we bounce, if the ES gets to 40.95, there's likely to be some resistance at that level, Miss V.
Hey guys, we've got a few super chat for People's Trader Sean. Thank you so much, guys. One from Mike Rehan and another from Dominic Famularo. Dominic actually says, Sean, hashtag Paisan Power. I googled Paisan. I believe it's Italian word. So yeah, we need to figure out. I think it means friend. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for all of your support, for your laugh on the chat, being kind and supportive. And while I'm here, let's take a look at likes. We have more than 3,000 people watching, only 300 likes. So if you didn't like that video yet, well, we would really appreciate here at Trader TV Live your support. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it's like Paisan is like fellow countrymen, like.
But it's only Italian, right?
Yeah, I think it's similar in Spanish though. But anyways, what's up? Thank you, Dominic, and thank you to Mike as well, man. It means obviously you guys know what's good. I mean, it means a lot to me, you know, to have the support of fellow traders, right? And so thanks again, Dominic, and thanks again to, what was the other? Mike. Yeah, what's up, Mike?
It was Mike.
As well. But yeah, okay, so, all right. Facebook just went there 30 or 40 cents of the money for us, but here it comes back in right now, looking to take this down. So it's really going to be 203. The market is just trying to bleed again, and maybe Facebook is weak. So one more average in on this name. We could turn our position red on this, our net red on this day. But yeah, I mean, you know, looking at it, we don't have a whole hell of a lot of shares. Just wondering if we give it to that wick, which is 203.50. Oh, man. I mean, what does the NASDAQ want to do here? I mean, we're at a bouncing spot, so I don't know. We just got out of some NEO as well, as that just ripped back to 97 off of these longs. So, again, you're going to notice something here. Look at all of these outs. Like, if I can take a second here just to talk about what I'm doing here. Like, all of these outs right here on NIO, that's done for a reason. Like, I have more shares. Like, this is a $16 name. Like, you know, you can take a hell of a lot more shares down here and then get them out as it starts to rip up, right? On Facebook, it's kind of like the opposite here as Facebook now goes back into the money. But, you know, we got to sort of average into these trades. Like, I don't want to put on, you know, you put on thousands of shares there, then where do you really average in? Because the next thing you know, if it slides back down, you're going to be out thousands of dollars. So, you know, you got to be, hello right now, Facebook. Let's go, give it to me. If we can get this out somewhere in the 80s or whatever, we'll take this one. As Facebook right now, guys, wow. Did we just know we did not get that fill? Okay, we are long at 34 now on Facebook. So I actually have a better price than I thought. If we can get some of these out in the 60s, we'll take it. Right now, Facebook with the average into the upside right now. So let's see if it goes, man. We thought we were going to get a big one there, but I didn't even realize the price we had. So now we'll have to watch out for this one as Facebook starting to go back up to the upside. We are long 34s. It's at 64. Oh, but there we go again. The People's Trader. Maybe it's a Fugazi. But no, none of these trades are fake. As we keep going to the upside right there, there's another 50-cent winner. How's that tasting, Sama right now? Have a sandwich. Nice upside right here. 204.92 right now. 95, 96. There it is. Bang to the upside right there as the money's getting dropped down. Thank you so much. Upside surprises. Boom goes the dynamite. You long on anything, Neil? Let's go.
I'm chasing shorts. Realistically, 860 on Tesla. We could have had that one, never came to our price. We were sort of talking about that as a potential bottom. Microsoft never really came in. I like those two ones, but we talked about Teladoc, right? So Teladoc at 37. If it breaks 37, great. It still hasn't done that. It failed at 37, which is going to be a short entry for me. And then I said on Fergie what we'd have to do. And Dominic, again, like I know you mentioned that, and it's like, yeah, watch out for your Fergie short, and I was already out of it. And this is why. Allow it to make a fail break. It made a fail break of 26.70, and then we got in. We stopped out when it took out the high of the day. It made a failed break just now at 27, and then when it came back, we got back in. So it's always going to be about that same structure every single time we trade. This is Teladoc goes to 37. That comes again. But here comes Tesla, 880. 880 this morning was a big level. It looks like maybe they like that news on Tesla. But if I get a breakout long, it's very likely to be Teladoc when we reverse 37s.
I mean, yeah, Teladoc. I mean, again, Teladoc, $30 name. So obviously, this is what I'm talking about when we look at Facebook. $1.20 now in the money on Facebook. And we just took, did we just get that piece out? Yes, we did. Right there, we just took another piece out on Facebook. Look at these trades. Boom, boom goes the dynamite right there to the upside. Couldn't be happier as we go. Only 45 minutes left before the imbalances come out. Thank you so much. Sven, you guys want some of these energies? Hey guys, Crispy Trader, I missed you as well, man. It's great to be back. Shout out to you, Douglas. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Christian. What's up as well, guys? I don't know what Sean is a Sigma means. I don't know if that's a good thing, Neil, or not. But there it is. Thank you to Flameboy. I will take that as a positive right there. So yeah. Oh, it's a good thing, says Fahad. So, okay, thanks, Fahad, for that one. And look, I'm happy then to be that. So, look, it doesn't really matter. Even if we lose here today, you've seen me sit here and talk about my losers. I mean, humility is what it's all about. We tweeted something out the other day talking about humility, right? And it's just like we're going to celebrate the wins, and then we will hate on ourselves for the losses. But right now, when you don't...
I say this.
When you're
I don't think you should hate on yourself for a loss. It's the cost of doing business.
Well,
man.
But it's not about hate. Sorry. Yeah, good catch there. I just mean like, you know, we talk about our wins and our losses, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the whole point. Like right now, Neo or Robinhood back upside, right? We could have got out of more down there. We held. We'll wait to see what happens right now. Look at Neo, 25 cents now in the money and still going to the upside. So there's going to be trades where, you know, we don't crush. But today, honestly, when I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 stocks, 6 trades, all profitable, you know, we will celebrate that and we'll be pretty happy about it. Not only that, man, we also did call, and I should have gone long, but we did call this Apple reversal a little bit as well. Not only that, remember when the market was down 0.65 or whatever it was, and I said, I still think we can get to green. Hey, there it is, 0.5% back right now. Let's see if the NASDAQ can turn green. Once again, guys, thank you for everybody's patronage on the show. I'm back, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm not going anywhere. So let's see where we go from here. Facebook back to 210. Let's see if we can get that.
I'll celebrate in a second, Fergie, but Sherry, you almost scared the crap out of me. You're like, I missed Roku. I'm like, no way. I set an alert for Roku. If it broke 101.5, I set a stop order at 102. I'm like, there's no possible way. I have like double barrel ways that I cannot miss this trade. So A, it never triggered the alert because it didn't get above 101.5, and it didn't go through 102. So it's not there yet. If it gets there, fair enough. But Fergie, once again, And Dominic, I'm done with that RDBX because I don't believe you trade two of these things at once. You can tell it's up 40%. I think it goes crazy. We just took a buck out of this again, and it'll be the same plan of action. $1 on the first exit, $2 in the second exit, and then try to hold for either 24 or 22, wherever it can try to roll over to. That's going to be, it was the same plan when we shorted 26. It'll be the same plan when we short 27. Of course, I'm going to have a relatively tight stop. You can't give it all the way to this now top wick at 28.65. That doesn't make any sense. We're going to give it to the lower high at 27.25 that it tried to just put in there. I'm still in the XFANG because it hasn't broken VWAP just yet, but that's one that we had from this morning. And then, of course, I got into Teladoc off 37, which is still, Teladoc is still on the New York. And I kind of feel like every single time, I'm like, it should be NASDAQ. It's innovative. I don't know, one or the other. But that 37 level is the line in the sand. It's a big, big chance for a squeeze off of that 37, so I will take a shot going long off that price. But until it breaks, there's nothing to do but sit and manage the trade here, which is getting some out in front of VWAP, getting some out in front of 35.5. Hasn't happened yet, so we'll sit in this. It's the only short that's out of the money at this point, so do have to tread relatively lightly on it. And Softy has been doing work all day long. It's not yet above VWAP here on my 3-minute. If this can get back above and start to break out, then you'll really see the market try to go here. I love that Roku level, so that's where I'm kind of eyeballing. Then, of course, 37 on TDOC. Those are the breaks I like. Brendan?
Some of the Chinese names popping back up here, guys, on volume as well. I mean, the whole market's going, but I bring this up because this JD.com came back into Friday's support, held nicely, big volume now, back towards day highs, guys, for JD.
I mean, we've put on, not often speechless, but I mean, we've put on a few trades for you today during the show, man. Apple dollar winners. I mean, right here is Facebook, $2.30 in the money. Off of that call. Like we just put this trade on 6 minutes ago. Like, I mean, this is what we're doing, man. Like, you guys wanted to get some action in the afternoon. Here it is, man. Big time trades happening. Not only did we put on that trade, but we also put on this trade, the NEO long with the Apple short as well. Look at where NEO is right now. Right back where we said, man, 20s. We did get some out upside, but there goes NEO. And I can't, we can't sit here and like predict what this market's going to do. All I can do is look at stocks, take the experience, put it to work, and there it is, man. Boom, boom, pow. Nice little move back up to the upside. So NEO, try to pick the right names. And if you're going to look at something and say, okay, let's try to do this together. I mean, every single day at Trader TV Sean, 31,000 followers, man, and still growing every day. But look, NEO, look at the names I traded today. NEO, we're positive. Apple, Robinhood, Facebook, Intel. They're all right here, all with the ideas, with a little bit of talk here on it, right? Watch Facebook, watch Intel. I mean, they're right here with some levels that we broke down. We gave you the 44.50 level there on Intel. And then Facebook right now. Like, what is Facebook even doing? I was kind of joking, saying, are we going to get back to 210? But hey, man, if my wife is watching, break out the good stuff today, man. This has been a monster move back here in the market. And by the way, remember, I don't know. Hey, what's up, Antonio, on the chat? I don't know if people were saying, snickering about when I said the NASDAQ possibly gets back to green. There it is right there, man, 0.25. So, we don't have to work within monster ranges here. You could have just scalped out there a full percent there in the NASDAQ, and we did exactly that. Facebook right now, $3 in the money. We got out of the only short that we were worried about. How is this for an out on Apple, guys? We got out at 154.20. It's at 155.50 right now. So save ourselves some money on this one. Everything is working. Veru, working. I mean, Veru's coming back in. I might just get out of this name, man. 35 cents in the money on Veru on a $9 name. We'll take 4%. Come back in Veru right now. So everything's working. There goes Facebook just taking out 207. There goes NEO right now up to that 1720 that we talked about. So, hey, pretty happy over here. It's been an absolutely great day. All we got to do is just continue what we're doing here. Continue to stay focused. Continue to hopefully bring some energy to the show and hopefully some winners as well. Right now, man, really happy with the way this day is going.
And there goes 37 on Teladoc. We just got the long on that break. We didn't break out on Roku, but remember this morning, if you watched Arun, Arun didn't come on this morning, but we did give his levels. That 40.95 on the ES reclaimed. So that resistance is now broken, and you do have a move through both. Low of the day got reclaimed on NASDAQ. Now you've got that 40.95 on the ES going as well. Unfortunately, Roku did not participate in the party, so if it's not going to make this break, it'll have to be shorter. I thought we'd be through this already, and we have not gone through yet. Like I said, Teladoc did go, so I didn't grab that long, but not yet on Roku. And if in this market, if Roku can't break 102, that level is obviously pretty strong, and if it's that strong, I'll take a shot at shorting it. I thought this would be a break already.
Yeah, and I like your move there.
Sorry, Antonio, Teladoc already had earnings last week.
Right.
Last week was Teladoc's earnings.
And you were short, but reversing the long. People, yeah, so they know that you got your long now. Okay, so there it is, man. We switched the bull over back to a bull there. Thanks, Dominic, for the super chat on that one. And yeah. Look, I mean, that's what we're doing. You know, we're putting on trades, we're making those calls, and a nice little upside move. We just took some out on NEO right there, right now. Is there anything else we want to talk about here? Why not talk about AMC? I honestly don't have a problem saying this. Like, I'm pretty much done for the day, man. My net is like, it's at a spot I'm happy. Could always get bigger, so let's not say that we're done yet. But for right now, there's been a lot of decent moves here, and we've taken advantage of a lot of them. So really happy with today's movement. AMC is at like crazy levels one more time, man. You know, going all the way back to the beginning of the year where we retested some of these 13s and 14s before shooting back up into the 30s. So if this name has any sort of legs to go here, AMC could be on one again. But I would rather, I mean, this is for a risk to reward. First of all, let's get the apes out right now, because for the risk to reward here, I feel like there might be something, because if you're going to use, now as long as, now I wouldn't put this trade on before earnings, and definitely got to figure out what day that is and do the longer term research right now. But, you know, what is wrong with putting on AMC right here and then just saying, you know what, I'm long $15. If you put on a couple thousand shares, worst case scenario, and I'm just saying this, hopefully, I don't have this position on yet, but now that I look at it, maybe nothing wrong with trying to respect that bottom there on AMC and just say, hey, if we break 13, then I'm getting out. So it's going to be $2 worth of a risk to possibly, I mean, VWAP gets you $4.
It's this week.
You know, yeah, it's going to be soon.
Like it's like what they say.
Well, Valeria can look it up there.
I think it's Wednesday or Thursday.
AMC earnings. Oh, Brendan put it there.
Where?
I don't see it in the chat, but it'll be there soon. Okay, so we will get those AMC earnings. Maybe you guys probably know when that is, but it's going to be soon here. The 5th? 9th.
Oh, okay.
9th.
Well,
AMC,
that's next week.
May 9th. So, again, let's let AMC fall down here a little bit this week if it's going to do that. But I think I'll probably put something on, and I'd rather play it with options, obviously. But, you know, if you did have some spare cash lying around, maybe you play a little bit of both. But AMC right there, and I don't know what GME is. I mean, you kind of got to look at them both. Ooh, GME down to 117. Maybe you make the same play on that 100 mark, man. The chart's not loading up here. That's a minute chart. On the daily, though, yeah, see, AMC's been a lot lower than, or sorry, GME's been a lot lower there in March. We got down to 80. So maybe there's a little more room to go. But that AMC chart looks juicy down there at 113 for sure.
Yeah, so the market's trying to curl here. Remember I said, like, Roku, we were taking out and screaming. You saw the futures start screaming to the upside, and Roku wouldn't budge off that 102. If it's a big level and we don't take a level like that going into a huge break and a reversal going red to green, then it's got to be a short off that same level. It's a level for a reason, and it is resistance for a reason. So I am in it. I'll reverse to the long if it gets through 102. I don't mind that, but you know, you got to make that trade. So I grabbed 72s here as an average price. I'll take some out on the way down because you got to take profit. It's a bullish market overall. TDOC's about flat right now, still at that 37 level, but it's worth noting the market just made a bit of a turn. Like here's Tesla at 885. I guess no surprise there. Once again, right at 12.9 on the NASDAQ. We just had a slight turn. So we might be sort of consolidating for a secondary run to the upside. Another good reason why this Roku trade could start to work out, but it's got to be a scalp trade. That was a big bounce that we just had. Thinking that you're going to just fall apart, I think, is wishful thinking. I think we're strong. The market's strong enough to start this week that I don't think we're going to fall. You know, we're not falling all over ourselves on this little bit of a pullback. That was too much strength. And as long as the ES holds that 40.95, I can't see any way that we aren't going to hold up in the green. So do not invalidate your long positions, but anything that has resistance that hasn't broken, yeah, you can take a trade there.
So many things made 52-week lows today. Peloton did as well, down to 17. 40-ish. Peloton before making a bounce back up today. So that, I wish the chart, there it is. Peloton just straight down from 32, basically a few green days in there. We've already seen this story, man. I mean, this was $120 last summer. I mean, we can go over a lot of names like that, but down 90% Peloton, like just from where this chart is, right? 122 down to $20. So, I mean, this stock, or $90, sorry, all the way to the downside there, just Peloton getting crushed, as there's lots of names down 60, 70, 80% from the highs. We just talked about one right there with Roku as well. So, but Peloton today made that bottom right off the open, new all-time low, or at least 52-week low. I believe it's probably lower than the IPO, down here at $17 for Peloton. So again, another name possibly. It's got to be. I think it would be down there anyways, down to 17.22. So Peloton, though, a nice little move back up. And again, maybe like we're so far off on a lot of these names that there's really nothing to sit in here and do. Wow, there we go. Okay, Facebook, I see you. Is Facebook trying to test one more time here, this 207.50 as, yeah, buddy, $3.50 now in the money on Facebook. 50 cents in the money for NIO as well to the upside. So we are cooking with literal gas right now to the upside. We talked about the NASDAQ going green, heard some Snickers. Now the only Snickers that are out there are that lovely chocolate with peanut. You know, Snickers is nice because they have the peanuts in there. But again, you can't bring them to school, I realize now, because of allergies, right? And so right now I prefer Mars to Snickers. You?
Denied.
You for Snickers?
Snickers all the way.
Yeah.
If I'm choosing between the two, then I'm always going to go with the Snickers. It's hearty, man. It hits the spot.
It's hearty.
And if you're going to have if you're going to do that, I want to be fulfilled. And if I'm going to have a chocolate bar, you get a Snickers Ruth. And you feel good. Baby Ruth, it's I
like the caramels, man. I mean, I really like caramel.
Baby Ruth. Oh, by the way, Roku,
I like profits.
Roku just took out that 102, so obviously I'm going to be in the long. And when there's a level like this, here's the thing. We do have 40 minutes left in the session. So yeah, we're taking this breakout here, and we'll see how far it can go in the next 40 minutes, maybe even like 30 into the imbalances. But this kind of a break, we're going to come right back to this. It's up 10%, and this is a huge multi-day break, multi-day resistance level that's getting taken out. So this is one I'd revisit tomorrow. As long as we're back at that 102, it doesn't matter. This is a great price area. And if I have to get back in at the same price, I just do it again. But we can't hold overnight. Like, I can't take this break and hold it overnight. I'd probably just have to come back in, and then if we're still above 102, punch long in the morning.
Wow, what a great, oh man. I heard Trader Pratt steal one of my lines there. It's a great time to be alive here as a trader, as right now Facebook is just ripping. The market's absolutely ripping. Veru, man, we just got out at 66 right there. So as Veru came in right there, shorting $10 all day, every day, right there. Nice little profit in there, 4%, 40 cents or 35 cents there on Veru. So a nice little move to the downside right now on that name as, I don't know, man. I mean, look at this Neo reload. Like, and if I could do anything, it would just kind of be stuff like this. Like, look at this hit here. 1677, 1672, right? We got out there at a 69er. So we got out for 3 or 4, 5 cent hit. Look what's happening right now. We're long 80s or 78s. It's at 25. So again, 4 to 5 cents worth of risk, now in the money, 48 pennies, and just ripping. We now have $4. Like, the trade of the day was Apple, but honestly, Facebook has been like big time trading there on Facebook. Brendo, we now have $4 in the money on this Facebook trade. Let's give it over to Brendo.
Yeah, everything just goes up right now. Microsoft, day high alert just went off there, guys. So 282.5, I guess, on decent volume for Microsoft. Also this one, ON Semiconductor. Big volume alert came in there, trying to get back above highs. This one reports aftermarket tonight, guys.
Ooh, ON reports tonight. That should be interesting. There wasn't actually a ton actually on the reports overnight. There are some big ones that we're going to get this week, and we'll see that with AMD. But I just took some out of Roku. Like we said, it has to be a scalp trade to a certain degree, just based on the time of day. There's an iceberg on, and this will seem counterintuitive because there's an iceberg on the bid of Teladoc at 37. So you'd say, okay, well, you're long off of a 37 break. An iceberg buyer there is a good thing. However, when it's consolidating like this, it just makes it worse. if it breaks 37. Like the more shares someone buys up here at 37, if it takes this level out on that breakout and can't go anywhere, it just makes it a little bit uglier because there might be somebody running to the exits on that turn, which does make me want to tighten it up. Like I would have given this to like 36.70 down here where we're shorting it before, but I kind of feel like an 85 might make a little bit more sense. Also have to work with the time of day. It is the end of the session, which means less time for it to run. So you want to tighten things up on your stop and start scalping a little bit more. If the same breakout happens in the morning, you can think about holding it all day long. You can't do that at the close. You do have to go into scalp mode, which is why we had to take some Roku out only for about 35 cents. Right? Like I do think it has easily $10 worth of upside in the trade, but it's not going to do that in 35 minutes.
No, it won't do that. But I mean, like I was saying, I have no idea where this market's going to go. One more time, like I didn't think Facebook. I mean, Facebook and Roku, obviously both very violent names. You could see Facebook $4. Like I wish I would have known this move was coming because then we could have held. But this is the point of what I'm trying to do: take more shares, scalp and hold. As wow, what a great day this has been. One more time, and this is what I'm talking about. Like thanks again for all the love, right? Like here's me and the wife here just chilling out, grabbing a coffee at the espresso bar right there near where my man Greg was chilling at. I tried to message him, he wasn't around. I think he was golfing there. Nice little cappuccino. Definitely, man, we're back with some energy right now. Refreshed it. That was from Saturday. The kid's doing rock climbing right now, so that's exciting. So we dropped him off at rock climbing. As holy, when I just threw to Brendan, I know you're talking about Roku there, taking that 35 cents, but like I was just saying Facebook, I was like, Brendo, it's $3 in the money or $4 in the money. It's now $5 in the money right now on that one. So we'll drop some booms on this one as well, as it is just starting to go right now. 209 right now. Like remember when I was like, oh, let's see if we see this 210. Look at this move back to the upside here on Facebook. Haters gonna hate. And just like Taylor Swift, man, we're gonna shake it off, and we're gonna do that with $100 bills right now. So a nice little move to the upside here for Facebook. Look at this move, man. $5 now. Had no idea it had this in it. But again, we liked Facebook today. We knew it was relatively strong. I've been loading this name up. I hope it works in the long-term account as well. But right now, Facebook up to 209, man. That FOMO that I had last week is gone now because we're back. We're sitting here. We're in the spot, and we're ready to destroy this market. 50 cents also in the money on this name, NIO. A $16 name, 50 cents in the money. There it goes, NIO, right back to day's high as well.
I see Frank Intel. Intel gets to 45 and it's huge. And until it gets to that price, it's definitely not broken out of the bottom end of the range since earnings. And I think you gotta consider that. There are names that are breaking out, and you want to look at this relative strength of the names that have broken the bottom channel. And then if something cannot take that on a day like today, like if you're not getting through 45 or at least 245, then to me, you're still being punished here. That's what I mean on the 15-minute chart. Let's just have a quick look at what it looks like here. You're still relatively weak. I like the breaks, and when you get to new territory, that's why 37 and then Roku 102, which are both working, can make some sense. But testing this at the high, if it can't get through, when we just went 200 points, on the NASDAQ in about, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes or so, and 300 from the bottom, and Intel still fighting that resistance. Yeah, look at something like that's a little bit relatively stronger. That's what it's always about. It's about relative strength versus relative weakness. Tesla is close to 900. I wouldn't put the shorts on I wouldn't put the shorts on in Tesla. However, I will know when we had the long on the break this morning on Tesla, this is right about as far as it was able to get. It got to 895 without even getting to that 900 level. So it is worth watching. If we don't get through 13, no one ever went broke taking profit. And if you did grab the 860 long, you have a look at where that top was this morning. And if we don't make a fresh high in the NASDAQ, well, Tesla off that high is a pretty good return.
Okay, I got to, oh, you got it, okay. Okay, just telling my wife, I got sent a Disney password. I guess she's tried to load up the Disney. Oh, we were talking about that moon, what was it called, Moon Knight?
Well, okay,
I didn't watch it yet, but there.
You know what? The last time I said something, I gave a slight review of a Marvel thing. People were like, "That was a spoiler." I'm like, I didn't really give anything away, so I'm not going to say anything because I told.
But not your favorite. Not your favorite.
Yeah, it was. It's not my favorite. I don't want to say it stinks because I haven't. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
But it started. It started out nice. You're going to like it after 1 or 2 episodes. That's all I'll say. But.
And is it like decent for like a 10-year-old?
Probably not.
No, but I mean, he liked The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian is like,
Yeah, okay.
I was just thinking somewhere through the roof.
If it's around the same, whatever. Well, I'll watch it.
Mando's like on a different.
Oh, I love Mandalorian. I didn't even watch Book of Boba Fett, so I can't really compare the two. I did not watch it. Okay, so there goes Facebook now officially. Almost at day's high again right now as we rip through this. I mean, I don't even know really what else we could do right now. NEO at day's high. Not at day's high, but close enough to it right now. And like we said, man, we talked about the NASDAQ getting green. Well, there it is, getting green. How about gangrene right now? Shout out to the Jets, who had a great draft, I feel like. But there we go.
Well, I don't want them to have a good draft.
No, but they did.
They did.
Yeah,
they had
did.
maybe the
But
best.
look at all the picks. I mean, it would have been horrendous. They got Sauce Gardner, didn't they? The nice little cornerback there.
Stingley's better.
But they didn't have a chance.
No, they couldn't have got
Stingley
it.
went 4 or whatever. But then they got Sauce Gardner. They got an offensive line. They got a receiver for my boys, Zach Wilson there, who needs a hell of a lot of help. But okay, let's just go on right now with all of this. So Veru out. So we did get a piece out of Veru there. We talked about where that one was and what was going on with Veru. So, oops, got to cancel those orders.
We might be turning here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So we only have 10% left, and we talked about that. I mean, there's literally 9 outs right here. My best out there, 66. We took that. We talked about that as we took that trade. So I'm thinking the same way now, that hopefully this can fall back down, or we'll just use where we're in as our out and cash in on that one. You can see what we did on Veru right there. There's the short, a 10.05. We took that on this report from Culper Research down to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of these must have been doubled up. And then there's the out, so we only have 10% left on Veru. Looking to see like 985. Like if we can get back here around this 50 period, I think that would be worth it for me. So that's a level of concern for me, 985 if you're looking at anything. Or I'm just literally going to get out where we got in. So if you break this 10.05, we're out of Veru. So let's see if that rocks and rolls a little bit here. VERU out at 10.05. I do not want to reload it. I do not want to have really anything to do with this name. It was a great trade for me. And we just put that money in our pocket and hopefully be able to get out the rest without losing up to that 10.05.
Yeah, so Roku first half we got out at 1-1. It just failed to break at 102 again. So I'm going to hold on to Teladoc instead because the Teladoc didn't retake it. But we'll get out of that one for basically a flat trade. Teladoc's still running, but I was asked about BTTX just now. It's up 60%. You can see big run after a huge failure this morning, a big failure on BTTX. But you are seeing it start to break out. It did just put this wick high through 150, so I know it's strong, but it just gave that little wick off top. And this late in the session, I'm always really cautious of these. If you make a wick off top at 3:30, a lot of times you're pulling back in. And even if it does run, it might not run till 4 o'clock. So if you can't trade it in the post market, that's one of those take your profit and run type ideas. Like I said, maybe it's wrong about Roku, but we got half out at that 50 and then the other half when it stopped back out. And then I held on to TDOC. TDOC never broke that buyer at 37, so that's the difference. But we are at 330, so I'll probably have to take another leg off as just time-based. Like, as you get closer to 350, 350, when the imbalances come out, you start running that gambit and you run out of time for these rooms to extend. So I think it can go to 38, but when's that going to happen? It could happen tomorrow. And Tesla, 895, we're right here right now. Brendan?
A ton of volume behind this move as well. Just saw this one, On Track Incorporated, which is tiny. Wow, 11 million on the market cap, popping up on volume here, guys. So taking out 125, 150 on the daily chart, a huge level for OTRK.
Okay, so unfortunately,
here we go, Tesla.
Wow, I know you just mentioned Tesla right there, but wow, here we go. As we look at what's happening right now to our boy Facebook, as that is back. It's right at day's high. I might just get this out, man. Close the trade. I mean, I appreciate what Neil was saying there. Obviously, he and I both on the same page as far as the imbalances are concerned. And, if these imbalances come out to a sell side, which I don't know if they're going to or not, obviously. That crystal ball, although not really failing, sometimes doesn't work. So we will wait on this one now. Wow. What? Like, honestly, man, we are just like super happy. Shout out to Santa Claus there. As like, I feel like we've got a gift right now on this Facebook. Like, we just reloaded that for you guys down into here. And then boom, beautiful move to the upside. Like, that's $6 right there in 20 minute, not even, is it 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes right there, $6 upside in FB. So we're at that high. I think it's a little foolish not getting this out now. So we can put a trail on maybe, but I'm pretty happy with this one, man. 210, we can get that out on, I mean, it's right here. We could take $6 right now on Facebook. So we'll see it where it goes, but I like Facebook a lot here going to the upside. But again, we do have those imbalances coming out. If we do have, oh, there it is, Brendan, 258 to buy.
That's it.
So it's not much here, but a good trade for me anyways on this level. 210, man, it's staring it right in the face.
After everything that we saw on Friday, I'm a little bit surprised. And if you remember on Friday, it was gigantic to the sell side. Everyone sort of remembers that and how we fell off. I kind of thought if we were going to be strong today, there'd be a bit of a buy imbalance. Tesla put in a wick high at that high of the day. So, with a relatively tight stop, I'll take the shot at it. And again, you go into scout mode when you're at this time of the day and start thinking about, okay, well, if we do reject, the NASDAQ high is about 25 points from here. Tesla's high is a couple of dollars from here. So you put up a small amount of risk, relatively speaking, to go off that top. Teladoc is still working to the long side, and it's got the short interest to work with it as well. Not that Tesla can't squeeze on you, but I look at a high like that, and I'm going to take the shot here on Tesla. We'll see what happens. It's just the two positions on, and I don't necessarily think I want to have either all. I definitely don't want to be still holding Tesla if we get to 350, not when you're sort of sitting here and it's likely to just stop you out regardless on when those imbalances drop. But we will get those to you live. You see how much it moved the market? If that 250 were to grow or reverse into a sell, I think it's more interesting if it grew. It being only 250 when the market's this strong, I think that's not a big imbalance. So if it flipped, it's not a huge deal. I think if it got bigger than 250 million to buy, that would be a big story.
Yeah. Agreed. Oh, what I want to get at there was Veru. So Veru just goes, again, nothing to do with the imbalances, obviously, as we look at Veru here. The imbalances aren't going to mean anything, but at the same time, we got out there. It broke that 10.05, and we got out literally for flat there. So Veru does go back up. Congratulations to anybody that was able to buy it down here. Maybe they got in when I was getting out, but Veru right there tried to take out the top, and we just stick to our guns there again. Like, we're not shorting tops. We're not playing bottoms or anything. We're just looking at stocks, trying to find out the best opportunities, and that was a good one for me on Veru. By the way, guys, Facebook took out 210. So we're long here, 204. This is a $6 winner for you right now in 35 minutes right now on this name. So there it goes. Upside goes Facebook. Dynamite goes boom. All that fun stuff right there. Big move. Roku up. I know Neil's talking about Roku, but Roku up 10%. Another name that's up 10% is DKNG as well. When I came in this morning, I was like, wow. I mean, there's so many names we can do this for, so it doesn't matter. And we can check back on SoFi. We talked about that $6 long. I don't know where that's at right now, but DraftKings.
It's still there, actually.
It's still around 6. So SoFi and DraftKings both that 1350. Remember what we said early? It's going to bounce around here off the open, but again, big time move up here for DraftKings as it's just kind of cruising. I don't quite get this move upside, but at the same time, it's been beat down. A lot of pressure needs to come out of DKNG probably. So DraftKings right now, a nice upside move there. Probably just some short covering. Again, I feel like this is a sell. I wish I could get back into this name, but I haven't really been able to find it. And the reason why is I just don't believe in this stock long term. I feel like they have a cool app. Yeah, that's great. A lot of people can develop apps.
That's it.
And a lot of people have, right? FanDuel's great. I got FanDuel on my phone. But there's so many, MGM. I don't have to tell you that. There's so many out there now. I mean, Neil, you watch a lot of sports. It's
too much
every ad seems to be nowadays here in Ontario. It's
actually out of John. Yeah. Lately,
Wayne Gretzky's pumping one of them.
It's actually been crazy the last little bit. You see the ridiculous amount of competition. And for John Reiner just asked, would he short Roku off the top? I wouldn't, but it's 334. That's why I wouldn't take that trade because it's simply too late in the day. To put it on. It just the risk reward doesn't make sense when we're this late in the day. Where I can really clearly define we have not broken level on Tesla, I can scalp that trade. But Roku, it's still above 102. And above 102, I like to long. I just don't know if there's enough time for that one to work out. Tesla did just start to roll over here. And as long as the NASDAQ wants to, pull back off that morning high, I think this can work. I will take some out in front of 888 because, 3/8 account, why not? You guys know the 3/8 account, I'm assuming, at this point. So I just took the first leg out at in front of 888. So it was about $2.50 worth of risk to make the first 4. If we continue to fall, 880, obviously, if 880 was the original short price, that's where we stopped out in the long before. That's where it dipped and pulled back to here. That's what I would hold on to for Tesla. So you're going to be all out in front of 882 or 350. I don't want to hold Tesla into the imbalances.
Okay, and just so you guys know, as you can see, spin it. We are now out of Facebook. So we took it out. It breaks down through. I didn't take it out initially when it broke through 209.50, but again, it might be. I might regret doing this trade, but. You know, I mean, we got to that 210. We tried. We gave it some room. It got as high as 210.23 right there. So we will take the clean $5 or $5.50 or so on that move, and that's that. So there it is, man. We're out at literally at 40. I believe we got 49. So 209.49 out there. Good trade for me off of that reload long. So. That is our friend Facebook. Now done for the day for me. And like I said, now I'm probably just going to look at some names for you. Not much to do. Not much to do except for maybe roll the dice with Neo. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll the dice with this one into the close. Again, these are the longs down here. We have them on board. You could see 50 cents now in the money and going higher, 52 cents now in the money on this one. And then just to close out our last trade, man, Robinhood, again, like, did I not have a stop? No, I didn't because I'm out. That's why. But we still are holding 10% of Robinhood. We did talk about that one. But you could see it does go right back to 40 again. That could have been a good short. But some of these beat down names today are really, really getting aggressive to the upside. So Robinhood, we've identified this. Short, 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 and out. Another positive name. Like I said, man, we are negative on no names today. So it's been a good day. Glad to be back. Glad the energy's kicking up for me as well. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go over to Brendan right now with some news.
Finally, getting a bit of a pullback here, guys, but a lot of names. Like, this is widespread buying coming in. Just saw this one. Crocs popped up through 70 there on volume, trying to pull back 270 once again. Crocs set to report coming up on Thursday, guys.
Like you said there, like some names are pulling back. I'll point out one that is not pulling back right now. That is going to be that Roku through 202. Sorry, 102, I should say. 202 would be crazy. It did stop me on the tight stop. I chose Teladoc instead. Teladoc did take 37.50, but then that iceberg broke, so I'm just down to Tesla. But look at how well it's holding this. This is a trade that for sure I'm going to be making tomorrow. I mean, unless somehow this gaps, it would have to gap down like $3 or $4 or gap up. Regardless, if it's anywhere close to that 102, then you can trade this in either direction. It's just down to Tesla for me, and either that breaks. Whoops! Oh, I still had to stop. And this is what always happens if you accidentally get in a position, win or lose on a Teladoc. So I just got into Teladoc because my long stop I got out manually and left my stop order in there. So I did end up getting short. It'll probably fall apart here, but I don't care.
I know we've done...
Even if it comes down, I still don't want to hold on to it.
I know we've done a lot of videos on that, but that's the thing. Like I leave all the time, so I'm actually glad. I don't have it out now.
I might have a few stops.
But yeah, double check your limit orders and your stop orders. For us, they go pending on a different screen. So sometimes you do have to double check it. I just want to say that was a good call out there because,
that was close.
Yeah, this market could move here into the close. What's up, Brendo?
It's me, Valeria, and guys, just around 20 minutes left until the end of this trading day. And if you're looking for a perfect time to like this video, it's right now. Please smash the like button, subscribe to Trader TV Live channel, and of course, share the link with your friends. Spread the word about our beautiful community. Back to you guys.
All right.
Oh, here comes Tesla again.
I just heard like a really funky thing in my ear there.
I didn't.
Ooh, Bluetooth disconnect and reconnected here.
Oh.
On that. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, almost time to get out of here. We only have 20 minutes left. I guess you're the one in something exciting.
It's not, well, Tesla was okay. It got to 888, which, I mean, look, 888 is just more of a psychological level. It is worth mentioning it did have a consolidation at this price in the morning, so I'm not really pulling it out of thin air, but it gave you that first $4 on the rollover, maybe $5 if you got a better price than I did, like a 93, 94. I got 92.5, but it's still trying to take out that high of the day, so I'm adjusting the stop. If it gets to 350, I'm still in it. I might just take it out. or at a minimum, tighten the stop and not give it all the way to that 895. There's no point giving it to that high of the day, that 895, if it's right in front of the imbalances. I'd want to have a tighter stop than that. This market is still screaming. NASDAQ above that 13,000. That's the other thing to keep in mind. As long as we're above that level, pretty much anything can happen to the upside. I'm hoping that we get like an outsized, like that 250 mock imbalance, which may or may not be how big it comes out as. If it comes out larger than that, this market could go for a ride, given the bounce that it pulled back in. But I don't think it'll be anything close to what we saw on Friday. I mean, Friday was sort of a special event. It was also the last day of the month on Friday, which a lot of times means that those imbalances will be a little bit bigger and have more follow through. That's why the move was so big. It was end of the month.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, not only that, I mean, it was a monster move as well.
Yeah,
just in the market. I mean, even when those imbalances came out, the market was down, I think, 3.5% or something. Obviously, it got accelerated in the last 10 minutes there.
And Apple took 159.
That's it.
Well.
Like, it's just like right now, we're not really seeing any key levels. If anything, man, I mean, Apple was like more than half of my net. Wow, Apple. Hello. More than half of my net today has been made shorting Apple. And wow. Apple went right back to today's high. I should be short here, man. Like, honestly, if this was still, like Neil's, not to beat a dead horse here, but like we were saying, we have to be flat and we can't hold overnight, nor would I hold Apple overnight based on 158. I mean, that would be ridiculous. But, you came right back. Wow, did Apple just move? Well, I guess we got $5 on Facebook, but that was a big move up there, man. Good thing we're not still in this name. And that's just going to be the difference between a trader like myself and Arun, right? Is like, he may have given this to a 158 and reloaded the short, or vice versa, or waited for the long. But if you can scalp in and out, man, and like now I don't even have to worry about that move. Wish we had it long, didn't. We should have reversed that into the long right there. But it did come back before bumping one more time. So, and there we go, man. Again, another out. Glad we took the out on Facebook, but we just went back up to 210 again right there. So Facebook on the move back up to the upside there. Don't be worried, Arlo. Arlo, why are you worried about tomorrow? There's really nothing to do. Okay, what's up, Star Child? So both Neil and myself, we only... So at Day Trade the World, our software is only equities. Like we don't, there's no options or nothing. Like we don't trade options. So when I'm talking about buying Facebook down here at 204, it's not a call or anything like that. These are actual equity shares. So it's like buying shares. So we are funded by Day Trade the World. So we don't want to talk about how much funding we have in our accounts, but believe me, like enough to buy shares there for Facebook to get up to the upside. So both Neil and I and Arun and Brendan and Pratt, everybody, we realize a lot of you guys are trading options. So like maybe on Neil's Roku.
Well, you can worry about the price movement,
right? Like you just. We might be looking for $1, but maybe you guys need $1.50 or $2 on an options move. But trust me, I've watched it, and like on that Facebook trade, like if you would have bought calls, I mean, they would have worked. So,
but for the liquid names, it's essentially the same kind of thing.
Yeah, you just want to maybe look at weeklies, is what I was going to say, because that might give you the best return against what we're doing. But yeah, equities, and then sometimes you'll hear us trade futures, and it would be the actual futures contract. So we could trade both NASDAQ, oil, we could trade the minis, the S&P as well. But here we go, Neil. I don't know if you're going to be out of your position, but
I just got
four more minutes.
Tesla took that high of the day. I mean, at this point, I would have taken it out anyways because it's now 346. And I was just about to say, like, if this wasn't at the end of the day, I would be short Intel right now because it got to that 35 and rejected well shy of it. So some names have yet to break out. As strong as this move has been, it's left a few names hanging. At the end of the day here. That is one of them. And even Roku still at that 102 and hasn't managed to break through yet again. It's just going to sit there at that key price level. And that's the thing. We know I'm coming back to these same prices tomorrow. If they're going to be valid the entire week, then you play them all week. We did that with a few names last week, and we're going to revisit it for sure. Baba was one as well. That 102 is going to stand out like a sore thumb.
So like my wife made this coffee for me this morning, like at 7 o'clock. It's still warm in these Yeti mugs. So I think we got a shout out to OTC Markets who gave us this.
Yetis are sick, man. They're so good.
Like, how is it still warm? It's not like, it's not super warm, but it's warm. Okay, so anyways, by the way, I just want to give an update on Robinhood here. So Robinhood does fall back down. We get a 29. Remember, we were short 34, and then now it's looking to take out the high, so we get out 38. So basically a wash trade there for the last little bit on Robinhood as we take some out there. And then guess what's happening right now? I mean, we are now in the money, 65 cents on this NEO trade. We talked about it going back to the day's high. So, I mean, what a great day this has been. I just wish we still had some Facebook, as that is Rip City right now, all the way to the upside. What was $5.50 could now be $6.50 as Facebook taking out 211, I think, here into the close. 2 minutes left, Brendo.
Looks like it seems like there's one of these almost a day now. Switch Incorporated, guys, just popping up on a note from Brookfield. Apparently Brookfield looking at Switch on some M&A activity.
Yeah.
Brookfield getting busy there.
Yeah.
I was going to try and point out my daily
it's
chart.
Brookfield getting taken over. I don't know if
Sorry, it's the other way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Takeover, said to Wade takeover.
What? That wouldn't make sense.
No. Yeah. They're of Switch, right? Yeah. So Brennan's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Brookfield, they're big
Brookfield's
players
too
out
big,
there.
I guess, to be bought by Switch.
Yeah, that would
Whatever
make a
that
ton
is.
of sense. Yeti, by the way, if we're talking about stocks, that's actually up 4% today. I mean, I know the market's up, but Yeti, yeah, you can actually trade Yeti if you believe in the company. My daily's not working. I wanted to show you guys the daily chart on Yeti. I can't because it doesn't feel like it wants to load for me. But this is a name which is barcoding here, and who knows? If we're going to have a sustained rally, we'll probably need some help on Wednesday for that. But yeah, this one at 53 would make a little bit of sense for Yeti. It's probably not a day trading stock because its volume is Tetra, but 1 minute till the imbalances come in, and they're still looking relatively small to the buy side as the futures try to continue this breakout. NASDAQ sitting up 1.1%, and the ES, almost more importantly, the ES got green after a huge level break. I mean, the level break on the ES, we were talking about it this morning, that Garoon gave his levels, even though he couldn't come on this morning, he still took the time to give out his levels. And that 40.95, when it got taken out, it rushed to the downside, but the NASDAQ has managed to drag us back up here. Still some relative weakness in the ES. You can see it's not really breaking through Friday's lows yet.
I just try to get long the cues here. Just thinking that maybe we do bust a little bit higher here with only 30 seconds to go. Let's see if the NASDAQ wants to go. I'm waiting a little lower. We just took out some of these. Ooh, I was waiting at 06 there. We only have a few minutes to go now. Oh, get me long before this comes out if we can. Nah, it's gone right now to the upside. Boo. All right, so, oh, wow. Right now, NEO, 63 cents and still ripping. I feel like this is going to be a long. Let's check it out right now. ARCA, we got to get rid of those, and we'll see what's going to pop off right now as the imbalances start to come out. We'll sort it by size, as they say. And there it is. It is a upside move, it looks like. Yes, well, the NASDAQ's kind of flirting. It's not doing much. We'll check out the cues. What did that just...
Microsoft's $1 million buy.
You got to get off my screen now. It's going to take a while here, Fod.
Yeah, I got Microsoft at 950,000, Pfizer 1.2. Like these are decent, but nothing like, oh, Apple just popped. That wasn't there a second ago. Apple 2.5, man, that's what it is. That was weird. Like at 350, I didn't see Apple right away, and then unless I'm blind, and then Apple popped up there. That is the reason for your pop, ladies and gentlemen, was Apple coming through with a monster buy. It was Apple that led the way to that downside, and yeah, there it is. It's actually taking out that current recent high. It hasn't gotten through this morning's top at 158, but 2.5 million to buy an Apple. That's what caused the spike in Tesla through 900. Of course, now Roku goes to 103. So, I mean, rising tide is lifting all ships here, but it looks like the Apple imbalance, again, carrying the day. That's what happened on Friday as well.
We tried to get the cues long $1 ago. You saw us do that. But again, the imbalance trade is really just a function of the market itself. And, every day there's market on close orders that come out. We do a good job of talking to you guys about that. And look at the NASDAQ. We just tried to get long. Literally, you saw me do it, and we missed it. But right now, NEO is at the high of the day, so we might as well take this out, man. 70 cents on a $16 name. We'll do that. Facebook's another long that we got out of at 209.50. Look, the imbalances could have been the other way. We'll try to do a little bit better judging of that, but there it is. Downside move, no for Facebook. Nice upside move. Look at Apple, man, right at these levels again. And this is why, you could hold your positions all day if you want, but I've already taken this Apple out, and now Apple goes right back to day's high. Remember when we called NASDAQ positive today? That was 2.5% ago, and now you're well positive on the NASDAQ. So I just hope we could keep this momentum forward. I know Neil was looking at... Go ahead.
There
yeah.
was another, Ford's a decent size imbalance. It's close to $1 million as well. I'm just sort of looking at the names that are making moves that have the big imbalances, and Ford actually testing the high of the day here, and not a bad level for it at 14 and a quarter. And my daily chart doesn't want to load. I haven't been able to get any of those to work today in the afternoon, but at a decent level, Ford right now at its high of day, 14.25. A lot of times, if it doesn't break the high on the imbalance, you might not see it happen for the rest of the day here, but 14.25 will file that away for tomorrow morning as well. Twitter is a small imbalance, buy imbalance as well.
All right. Like, really just thinking about getting this out because it's at 50. What is it? Okay, yeah. So there is some size there on NIO at 50. So you're at 47 by 48. And again, you know, Neil and I have to be flat at the end of every single day. So here we go. Let's take out some NEO right now at 1748.49 right there. So we might as well get this out if we can. Starting to go back to the downside here. So maybe we got to offer out and get out of some of this one. But ooh, yeah, nice little move down. Maybe this is going to flip. Remember, at 55, there are flips that happen in these imbalances. Floor update, exactly. So these can go the other way. I might as well. I got to try to get out of this. But there we go. If you can see right on here. Oh, there it goes. It takes, of course, takes 44 there. You see, I don't mind using the Memex. Oh, right back up to 40s. I was going to say I don't mind using Memex because you get the best rebates. It doesn't matter. Oh, no. I was just saying about the best rebate, but. Again, I get 44s, get the rebate, and then it goes 3 more cents, which the rebate is literally 0.27 or something, or 2, I don't know what it is anymore, but on that one. Okay, here's Apple. Apple's still saying buy side. We are going to get that update, like we said. Good out for us on Apple. I will keep this on here if there's anything else you guys want to look at. 905
now on Tesla. Like, it's just running.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
ripping.
Screaming.
I guess I didn't get that
That 860 is going to kick me in the, I'm kicking myself over that one because, you know, that was a good support area. It didn't quite get to the entry price, which it is what it is. Like, if you say you want to buy it at a price, it doesn't get to the price and you don't buy it. It's a little bit frustrating because now it's like $30, $40 up. Worth noting here, I talked about Intel not breaking the top and other chips being strong. This is what I meant by that. Like, Nvidia's up 5%. Right, and breaking through the high and breaking through some resistance levels, you know, 195 getting taken out on the way to this 200, whereas Intel's still below 45. So that's what I was getting at with relative weakness in Intel. I understand it's not that bad. It's just look at how strong something like Nvidia is on this kind of move, which makes sense. If growth is going to go back, then Nvidia and AMD are going to be stronger than Intel in that environment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I coach at High Park T-ball, but yeah, that's right. This week is cherry. Have you ever seen the cherry blossoms? I think there's some in Brampton.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
There's some nice ones.
Yeah, but there's one like close to where I am, but like High Park is where
the cherry blossoms.
It gets out of control.
Donated by Japan. Man. Yeah, those are absolutely unbelievable if you guys have ever seen them. I forget what the actual name of the tree is.
It's not.
Well,
yeah.
Anyways,
it's not cherry blossom.
No, it's the cherry blossom. But they're. I'll figure it out. What's up, Brendo?
I was going to talk about some earnings here, guys. There's one at Trinity Bellwoods as well for anyone in the downtown core. Or there's a bunch. There's like 4 or 5 different trees. Anyways, let's talk about earnings. Still more earnings to come this week. Here is what is on deck for tonight and tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sakura trades there. We're just looking at trees right now.
We both Googled it. I was like,
yeah, Sakura from Japan again. Okay, Teva, Pfizer, yeah, that's nice. You know what I'm going to be trading anyways? It'll be all these tech names because we're just going to continue it, but I don't mind Biogen. Is Amgen on there? Amgen's got beaten up lately. I like Amgen as a possible buy. You have also there, right beside Pfizer's BP. So watch out for some of these energy names. I also
BP and Devon.
And I also know Diamondback on the bottom right. So there's going to be a few names to watch out there for tomorrow. We are completely flat. It's been a monster day. Thank you so much for everybody to do that right now and to watch us. I mean, it's been an absolutely fantastic day to trade. I want to give a big shout out to everybody there. People
Pfizer's actually still a buy.
People chanting Pfizer, yeah. People chanting about AMD. What a great move up for AMD, man. I mean, I love that name. I've been loving AMD for a while. Great moves down to $80. A great buy if you're able to get it up to 90. Although we brought, we brought the heat today. You guys noticed first day back. You know what I'm saying? NASDAQ up 1.74%. Not only that, we were down 0.6 an hour ago, and then I threatened with the turn back of the bull. So there we go, guys. It seems that some of the sorcery that exists on the sticky note also existing in the broader market right now. So, of course, this is all a joke. But, yeah, it's been a nice little rebound day. Congratulations, anybody. I don't have a tick on AMD today, but a nice little 5% move, man. We got Facebook instead, but AMD definitely mad respect to that move.
Yeah, I mean, AMD, NVIDIA, good move to the upside. I wish I had hung on to NVIDIA, obviously, when I showed the chart. Worth mentioning, Pfizer was on that list. Pfizer's down 1.5% going into those earnings, by the way. So it's not all rosy. That name has been pulling back significantly. There is some issue with, vaccines, I think, at this point, are a non-story. But they did have I think for kids, they had to delay the FDA approval there, and then Moderna sort of ahead of them back in that regard. So watch out for this 49 level on Pfizer. But it is weak, and it is a sell imbalance. They've been going counter trend to the market, generally speaking, anyways. But Pfizer will be on my radar tomorrow morning.
All right. Just more talk, I guess. Oh, a shout out to hopefully a Maple Leaf victory tonight. I still don't know. I mean, there's still Tampa Bay's won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and for some reason we're facing. Not for some reason we're facing. That's how the puck drops. That was a pretty good one but. Yeah, we're in tough. I don't know what I was getting at is I don't know how Vegas has us favored in that series, but they do. I guess it's home ice. But I just want to quickly talk about Facebook because, wow, man, I wish we still would have had this on board. But there's the out right there at 209.50. Thought that maybe it was making a move down, and it did, man. It went to 208.80 or so before now, just taking off on an upside move that, again, we didn't really expect. Well, I mean, not that we didn't expect it, but the future is helping this move out with that imbalance coming through. So only an hour and a half left.
90
Thank God,
seconds
not
left.
An hour and a half left. A minute and a half left right now.
Probably be at 4% if we had an hour and a half left.
Oh man, I can't. I wouldn't even be able to talk anymore after
Look
this.
at Tesla. But so Tesla, that's one of the stronger moves here. Now getting to that 9, almost to this 910 level. That was a big level on Friday. It tried to get back through this in the afternoon. So it looks like we'll have some interesting price action in the morning because, if we start retesting where we fell from at the top on Friday, those should be monstrous. I know it's going to be both Ms. V and Tony on the bell today as usual, so we'll make sure we get those dance moves on. It's always better when the market's ending up. It's a little bit of a better feeling. It's hard to dance it off when we were looking at the bell on Friday. It was one of those, it was a lot of price action. It was fun to trade it if you had the shorts on. Obviously, no one likes to look at their long-term account on a day.
I got to mention something to you because I was thinking to myself that I was going to come in and you would be a cue ball today, but...
my haircut's tonight.
Oh, is it? Okay, there we go. So I was
grabbing...
close. So not that it's going to be a cue ball, but I was like, I feel like Neil's going to be...
Well, my barber's probably... Thankfully, the market's ending up because my barber would be like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Right, because he's going to talk to you
after Friday.
Yeah.
I just told him to start dollar cost averaging. And I'm like...
My wife said that.
Don't get too crazy.
Finally... Hold on. I think countdown.
Oh, shoot, the countdown.
I got it.
You got it?
Ooh, okay. Is it... Okay, we'll talk about this after. With only 7 seconds to go. 4, 3,
2, and...
All right.
It's the look on the face as Valeria gives the last, she rings the bell last every single time, and she makes sure to give Tony one little tiny look, just so he knows that she gets the last word. That's it. That's all it is.
Tony also knows what's going to happen if he tries to get the last ring in there because I'll have to speak to him privately about that. He knows what's going on with that one. I was going to say something, now I forget what it is. So, it was about your hair.
Haircut. It's getting long. You can see the gray and everything. I know. It
was finally, I got a haircut last Wednesday or Thursday, and then I had the whole week off. So it's hard. I'm trying to compete with Brendan, going to get haircuts, and then my wife all last week was like, oh man, your hair's looking nice and you're just chilling out. But so I'm trying to compete. Now tomorrow I got to compete with this guy and this guy, Brendan. What's up?
Maybe, no, I won't. Let's have a look, guys, at how we ended the day. Almost 100 points. Almost 100 points there for the S&P off the low. Back to nearly 0.6 to the upside for the S&P. The Dow, 1.6 for the NASDAQ there. You can see pretty choppy otherwise, top to bottom. But wow, what a bounce.
Yeah, big time movement to the upside. I was talking
TSX.
I was talking with someone earlier, and I don't know, Brendan, if you could check this out if you have it up quickly. Apparently, the Brazil market is down 40% or something in the
what's-
last month. Like NASDAQ was
We
down
have those
23% on the year, but apparently Brazil's down. And I have to apologize because I don't look at that market, but we used to trade it a little bit here. Yeah, hit the like. Thanks, Mike
What's
Crean
there's
as well.
an ETF that's like, it's an emerging market.
EWJ. We can look at.
that's
so
the one, yeah.
we can look at that
Yeah,
one, but apparently, yeah, pray for Brazil. That's what Neil says. But
I always do. I always feel bad. It's like, you see it whenever we're up on a day like today.
here we go. You have the daily up.
Oh, my dailies have been, see, I can't load a daily.
You can't load it up. I can look it up here. EWJ, maybe you guys, someone probably has it before us here. Let's just check right here. Here's the daily, of course, just to make sure it's the right one. Oh no, EWJ is Japan. I'm an idiot.
No,
it's EWZ, is it?
It's Zed.
Is
These
it
guys are
Zed?
right.
It's Zed. So here it is. Yeah, so 40, it's not down 40%. What is this guy saying? $39 down to 31. So what's up, Brendo?
At the lows right now. It's 19.78 right now, according to, this is the index of the actual market, but it's not even at the lows. That's the low. We got down to 100,000, I guess, but.
High. It must be 40. It's NASDAQ is down 23 from the high, and this person was probably just saying,
yeah, that makes
you
sense.
think that's bad?
That
Check
makes
Brazil.
sense.
It's
That makes
40%.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say in a month, like oil's been okay. Shouldn't be.
Yeah, because they're heavily they're
energy.
a heavily energy market.
Yep.
That's the TSX too. Like the TSX is sort of heavily on the banks and oil. So when growth goes up, it's not that strong like today.
Look, you guys want an opinion on the market. Honestly, we're going to do the trade of the day in a minute, but I just feel like, I said this before, remember last time it was when Powell was talking, saving the market, I said, come save the market, Jerome. Well, I mean, I still have the same feelings. Like today was a long day. I feel like when he speaks, it's always good because that's just, what he's trying to do is prop the market up a little bit. But I mean, we all know 50 points is coming. So I would just say like the market was down 0.6. We finished up 1.8. Like that's a 2.5 swing there in the last hour. 2.5% in the last hour. That's actually more violent than it was on Friday, to be honest with you, because we were already down. We were already down. Right. So that 2.5% in the last hour is pretty monstrous move up. So I don't know if we want to call a continuation of this play or not. But anyways,
y'all got to stop in the chat. I'm not growing an afro. It's not happening. Okay. I did it once in high.
Though.
I did it once in
kid and play.
No, you know what? When I played ball for Brampton, like way back when I was a kid at 15, I grew out my fro so I could put the baseball cap and have the 80s look with a fro to the back. I'm not doing it again.
I can't even grow my hair. I'll be growing. It
would take forever.
Would be sick.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay, thanks to everybody today, man. It's been a great day. I'm glad to be back. It's been a really, really super fun one. A shout out to my man Prad, who's not there anymore. You might see him walk around behind me. Big shout out to Ms. V coming with some heat. We didn't ask her about her trades. We'll do that tomorrow as well. Maggie working hard in the back. Fahad is a lone wolf over there as Lucas on vacation. I hope you're enjoying that one, my man. Traveling all around the world, that guy. Jet setter, Lucas. So that's going to be real fun. But hey, it's Apple. It's your trade of the day. Thanks to Brendan as well today. I don't even know if we can compete with the hair, so I might just leave it now. At this point,
my barber will throw down tonight.
Oh no, but that's fine.
Keith.
But you're not going to your barber again next week.
No,
for example, so you can compete with Brendan for a day or two, right? I mean, anyways, Brendan, the handsomeness continues. Thanks, Brendan, for another great show. We're back, man. The full team is locked and loaded, and we're back tomorrow at 8:30. Good luck with earnings. We'll see you then. Ciao, guys.